Greetings, everyone, and welcome to an orgiastic offering of off-the-cuff, opinionated, occasionally obnoxious, and often overly dramatic oratories only obtained online, okay? Edition of Monster Party!
Monster Party.
Monster Party.
Monster Party! Oh, Monster Party. I feel like, tonight I feel like anything could happen. I really do.
It's true.
It's
like
in the air.
I'm open to the universe for things unexpected to enter my realm and take
That's right.
me over, to have me, to ravish me, and then toss me aside. That's what I'm hoping for. How about you guys?
Well, who are you, sir?
Speaking of ravishing, I am Matt Weinhold.
Speaking of being tossed to the side, I am SHAWN SHERIDAN.
I'm Larry Stroth, never tossed to the side.
And I'm James GONIS. On the side.
The voice of reason.
A side of GONIS.
I loved your British series, your comedy series, A Side of GONIS. All right, well, that's us, and we're doing another show. And this is a topic that we're doing tonight that is one that we occasionally like to do when we just feel like just shooting the shit, as the kids say.
Fast and loose.
Yeah, fast and loose. We're just going to get a friend of ours who knows a lot of the same kind of stuff as we do. It has to be someone who is a genre expert and somebody who has genre-esque experiences like we do.
Right.
What that is, well, we'll explain later. But the name of this topic is Anything Goes, the Quest for Peace.
Anything goes, the quest for peace.
Anything goes. We're questing peace.
Yeah. Yes, please.
Give peas a chance.
Give some peas a chance. Peas are delicious.
I love peas. I can eat peas every day.
You know what? I love a good pea. I like them in every form. I like them mashed.
Yeah,
I like
me
them with
too.
a little butter with some mashed potatoes.
Yeah.
And then a good pea soup. I think we all love pea
Oh
soup.
my God, love pea soup.
Well, this is great, but who can we
No, I've
bring
got a
with
few more
us?
things to say about peas. Now,
No, I'm curious as to who we have with us on this journey, this quest for peace.
Well, I think we need a friend who we would pal around with at Comic-Con and WonderCon, and boy, we have the perfect guest.
Yeah.
Monster Party listeners will recall our guest from our episodes on games and the Batman legacy.
That's right.
He's an extremely accomplished board game and video game designer with titles including Ray Guns and Rocket Ships, Alien: Fate of Nostromo, Marvel Villainous and Marvel Superhero Squad, Texas Chainsaw Massacre, and oh no, there goes Tokyo. He's the author of several books on game design, including Your Turn, The Guide to Great Tabletop Game Design, and Level Up, The Guide to Great Video Game Design. Guys, let's welcome back our good friend Scott Rogers.
Scott Rogers!
Rogers!
Welcome, Scott.
For game!
Three-peat. This is
yeah.
my hat trick.
That's right. That's right.
We've
Thanks for
missed
joining
you
us.
I could not say no when you flashed up the monster signal. I had to respond.
Yeah, no, this is great because you're into so many different facets of the horror sci-fi genre, and you're so
Superheroes.
easy to hang with.
Monster Kid. Right?
Exactly.
We're all
Exactly.
monster kids, as
We're
you
all
guys
monster
say
kids.
all the time.
Yeah, that's true.
Yep.
How could you not have someone on the show who has an ambush bug figure sitting right behind them on their shelf? Come on. Come on, people.
That's right.
Really.
And so Scott is going to bring peace to our world. Take it away.
All right. Well, the first thing we're going to... No.
Well, no, Scott, we were talking just before the show, and you say you're a monster kid and stuff, but when you go to Comic-Con, you don't normally dress up.
No,
But-
not really.
But have you experienced it? Have you tried to put on the old costume and walked around Comic-Con and get your photo taken? Have you ever done it?
So, well, okay, Larry, let me preface it because I want to make sure that my Comic-Con cred is well established. I've been going to the show since the 70s.
Wow.
The year before they announced the year that they announced Star Wars was the first year I went to.
Wow.
77. So yeah, I've only missed 4 Comic-Cons. 2 of them were for the birth of my children, and 2 of them were because I
Whatever.
had cancer.
Oh, wow.
Cancer,
whatever.
okay.
Wow,
Yeah.
that's hardcore though, because that's like, I mean, that's
It's 40
a
some
long
odd
time.
years.
I mean,
Yeah.
my wife and I've been going since the 2000s, but like, but like that's impressive.
Yeah, I the first time I went was in the El Cortez to go see Bob Kane, and I missed him by 5 minutes.
No way. Oh man.
Yeah, so I've been a monster comic kid since before I could read. 2 years old, I think. Just like the rest of you guys. But anyway,
Yeah.
Getting back to costumes, all those years I went, I never dressed up in any sort of cosplay. And the reason why, Larry, was because when I was a little kid, only, let's call them unique adults, were the ones who were cosplaying. So this is back in the 70s, right? And
I know
early
what you're talking
80s.
about.
Yeah, so there were certain types of people that cosplay in the early days, and God bless them, they helped make Comic-Con what it is. But me, as like a 8-9-year-old kid, I kind of looked at them like, what is with these people? It's not Halloween. Why are they dressing up?
Right.
So by the time I was old enough, like high school, and I was going to Comic-Con, I wanted to work in the comic industry. And I realized that no one would take me seriously if I showed up to the booth dressed up like Superman or Batman or Darth Vader or whatever. And so when I was all the way through college, when I was trying to get a career in comic books, I just never dressed up because of that. I was trying to be professional. Then when I actually started working, I ended up in the video game industry. And so now when I was going to Comic-Con, a lot of the times I was demoing my product at the show. So there was, no way I could dress up in cosplay.
Sure.
I had to wear the company t-shirt and show off the game and be professional in a different way.
Right.
It wasn't until 2025 that I actually finally cosplayed. And that was because my daughter, they love to cosplay and dress up for, just like most kids these days, no reason at all. They don't need an occasion to dress up. And they told me, I said, hey, Evelyn, do you want to come to Comic-Con with me this year? And they were like, yeah, absolutely. And they said, well, I'm going to dress up and you need to dress up with me because it's a couple's costume. And I was kind of dreading what that could mean. And they decided to go as their favorite comic book character, which is Lori Lemaris from DC's Superman comics from the 50s. This is Superman's mermaid girlfriend. And when she was in disguise, she was in a wheelchair to hide her big fishtail. And so Evelyn said, well, you have to be my Clark Kent, and pushed me around because Evelyn has got some health issues and they need to be pushed around in a wheelchair at the show.
Okay.
So I said, okay, because we're going to have the wheelchair anyway, I will do it. So I put on a Superman shirt and I put on a wig because these days I look more like Lex Luthor than Clark Kent. And we went around and we had a great time. Not everybody recognized us, but the people that did were very excited and took pictures, and it was a lot of fun.
Awesome. That's
So
awesome.
I might do it again in the future. Who knows?
See, now, when I was going to conventions as a young child, what would happen is that I'd go to these science fiction or Star Trek conventions, and there were 2 kinds of cosplayers. There were nerds like me, or far nerdier. I mean, real, like, you are going to get beat up the minute you leave this hall if you're dressed like that. It was that type of person, or it was a hippy dippy counterculture.
Oh, yeah.
But the good part about that was a lot of the ladies would go very scantily clad.
Oh yeah, I saw what her last name is, Brooke, the gal who played Vampirella. Brooke Stevens,
Brooke Stevens, yeah.
Dave Stevens' future wife. I saw
Sure.
her as
Brink
Vampirella.
Stevens.
Brink Stevens. Thank
Brink
you.
Stevens. Oh, yes. Yeah.
Yeah. I saw Brink Stevens many times as Vampirella, and I
Wow.
saw Wendy Peeney as Red Sonja, and that might have
Wow.
accelerated my puberty by a few years.
It'll help. It'll help.
Well, Scott, probably you better than anybody else, though, from going to Comic-Con that many years, really saw how nerd culture changed
Oh,
and
absolutely.
how now all the hot girls dress up and they dress up and they spend money on these costumes and they're amazing and dressing up is incredibly cool and hip and everybody wants to do it. That wasn't the case back then.
Yeah,
you know?
it's so great. It's so much fun to see how diverse and not just women, female gendered women, but also different ethnicities, because often
Yeah.
early
right.
Comic-Con was let's just say it was pretty white, but since then everybody is welcome. It's one of the things I do love about I love about nerd culture is that anybody can play. And,
Yes.
and there are some people that are unpleasant. You guys gave a really good conversation one time about gatekeeping and all that. I remember that episode. It was a good one. But myself, I kind of feel like the more the merrier.
Yeah.
We were talking about like toxic fandom.
Right. Yeah.
And I think that, at least in my experience, I feel like that's rare. Like most of the time
It's
when I
rarer.
go to a convention, rarer, yeah. And of course, the minute you get online and the minute you go to any kind of social media, that's where you're going to find it. But when it comes to in person, just dealing with other fans, I can't even think of a time where I've had a problem. Maybe once.
What I love, like what Scott brought up, getting in a costume that matches something that your significant other or your kid will wear. Like what I love is I saw a family dressed up as the Incredibles. And what I loved is
I think I remember that.
the dad had a huge gut, just like the character, but he looked fantastic because he looked and I complimented him. You guys look great, but families all dressing up together. I love it as different characters from whether it be Fantastic Four or Game of Thrones or whatever. It's so fun to see that because it makes it into not just a thing for a single dude, but it's a thing for families to enjoy.
For a family and also any type of body shape now. That's what I really love. I love the fact that no one is restrained. Like, don't be self-conscious. Go to this convention, let your freak flag fly. I mean, have a good time. Put on that spandex. Go for it. I applaud you. And every time I see anybody going a little nuts with that, I think it's great. And I hope to see more of that if Comic-Con doesn't implode on itself.
Yeah.
Well, here's a good question for you guys, which is if you could wear any costume to Comic-Con, budget doesn't matter or whatever, or body shape doesn't matter, what would you dress up as?
I don't know. That's a tough question.
I mean, Scott, I'm limited now because I know Mr. Macho over here, Mr. Hey, I'm working out to get in my.
But what if you weren't limited, Larry? What if that didn't matter?
No, I'm just saying.
You can get Zep bound, okay?
Matt is getting in some great shape. He's getting in great shape. He's going to look fantastic. For me, my work has been, I'm like sitting. I'm gaining more weight. I think of myself as, look, I can, in a few more months, I'll be able to dress up as Mr. Creosote from Monty Python's The Meaning of Life, better fuck off.
How about like Baron Harkonnen?
Yeah, I could do that. That's what I could do.
Larry, I think you should just, overcome this self-depreciating body image, and you should go as Dr. Manhattan from The Watchmen.
Right.
Genius.
Yeah. Thanks, Scott. Yeah.
Actually, it makes sense.
I'm not delusional, Scott.
No, it makes sense because
it doesn't make sense.
It does make sense because he can do anything.
Yeah,
he can go anywhere. He can be like, he's like God. He can be in several places at the same time. Yeah. And one of those places, he has decided to just have a relaxed
overweight dude. Oh, I see. No.
I think I love it. I think it's great.
I think I would maybe wear the costume that my wife and I wore in the past for Halloween, which I thought was so fun. I really loved it. And we had these costumes custom made. And I was a Sandman from Logan's Run, and Gina was a runner. And that was
that's
like
awesome.
in those costumes.
Yeah,
I could still
beautiful.
wear that costume, I think, and so could Gina. So I think
Isn't it
those are
amazing?
great.
After all these years, Sean can still fit in his goddamn Logan's Run costume.
He can fit in his underoos.
Sean, look, my hat is off to you, buddy. I really am. Those costumes I wore when Kathy was, 5 years old, stuff like my Peter Pan costume. There's no way I can wear that now.
I think my second choice would be as a Zardoz executioner.
Oh,
With that mask, but I have to be
that's
just wearing
good.
that diaper with the bandolier.
Oh, there's a
gun,
costume
yeah.
for you. Yeah.
That's a
All
good team
pasty with
costume.
that would be
Yes.
cool. Yeah.
That's great.
Part of the fun is to do deep dive characters. You
Yeah,
don't want to you don't just want to be another, Joker or Spider-Man walking around.
Right.
Speak for yourself. My dream costume would be Golden Age Batman. That's what I would
Really?
dress up as.
Well, like
Cool.
Golden Age, not like
The Dick
first
Sprang.
appearance.
No,
Okay.
1940s, 1950s. That with the blue, very blue and the
Sure.
black bat on the chest, and
But that's great because you
the
never
friendly
see
Batman. Yeah, the friendly Batman. Right?
Have you
Smiling
ever-
Batman.
Really pointy ears?
No, he had little short.
No, they were
very
smaller,
little,
right?
Kind of close to the '60s show, but kind of like. Do you remember the screen test version? What was the name of the fellow who almost was Batman?
Wagner?
Remember? Yeah,
was it
Wagner,
Lau
yeah.
Wagner? Oh yeah,
Lau
okay.
Wagner. Yeah, like the similar to the Lau Wagner.
Well,
costume.
Scott, have you ever seen anybody wear that costume?
Once or twice.
for cosplay, really? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think the first appearance Batman would be an interesting choice.
That'd be cool. Yeah,
It wouldn't be the one that I would choose, though. I think for me, it's one of my favorite characters of all time, and it's the original Kamen Rider.
Oh,
Mm.
cool.
Ah, okay.
Kamen Rider 1. And what I would do is I would rough it up, because if you look at those early episodes, they've just started the show. They've just started it. Everything should be brand spanking new.
Pristine,
Episode 2, the suit is beat to shit.
Really?
So I would reflect that, but I would have the belt that lights up and spins, and that's within my realm of doing. I think that to do it correctly, I think I'd need just about, I don't know, maybe $800 if I really wanted to make it pristine and cool.
Oh yeah, with 3D printing, half of that stuff you could, just
True.
have printed,
That's
right?
true.
True.
That's true. I mean, to get a really nice helmet and
Yeah.
that costume, I would want to spend a little bit of money.
right. That's cool.
James has spent some money on his cosplaying. I think the most expensive thing that you bought was it the timer
Yeah.
thing for Snake Plissken? How much
Yeah,
was that?
Oh, yeah.
that was
Oh, cool.
$400, and it
$400
was that's a
But
lot
it's
of
great.
money.
It does
Well,
look
it's like,
great.
It's
man.
like go big or go home. If you're going to do it,
Yeah,
Oh
know.
man,
And-
James, I would wear that every day. Why aren't you wearing
Yeah,
it right
just-
now?
It's true.
Look,
That's true.
let's compliment James. Let's hand it to him, because several
do.
times
I'm
he
handing
is
it to him now.
dressed up. No, I'm serious. He's dressed up in such a great costume
Thank you.
that Snake Plissken was
Yeah.
just spot.
Well, you're
on,
smart.
buddy.
You're smart, James, because you pick, the Andor character or Jor-El or Pliskin. You kind of have the facial features of them a little bit. I mean, it works.
Yes.
Thank
Yeah.
you. Well, that's part of the whole craft, I think, is that you find, I mean, if it's a character that you want to channel, then that gets into the
Right.
whole kind of Japanese part of it, where it's like you're really taking it seriously, but it's also like,
Right.
ideally it should kind of be somebody in a perfect world who
Yeah.
you could get away with.
Yeah.
And then there was, I did the joke, which was the William Shatner Captain Kirk tunic with the Michael
Yeah,
Myers
that was
mask,
good too. That was
which
great.
is like, okay, this is a joke. Do you get it or do you not get it?
No, that's great.
Yeah.
And
a
then
lot of people got it.
Yeah.
But the fantasy cosplay looks like it's coming true for the next Comic-Con, which is going to be an underdog, a mascot
Oh.
head.
That's
And
cool.
part of the whole appeal too is to not do characters again that you see everywhere. And I've never seen
Right.
anybody do underdog.
Yeah.
And I've always had a
I've
fondness
never
for that
seen that.
character. So,
Yeah.
and we were fortunate to have a good friend of the show, Ted Haynes, who is able
right.
and willing to do it. So it's
Oh,
going
that's
to
be great.
Going to be kind of exciting. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I think, James, you hit on something that kept me from cosplaying for years, which was I don't really feel like I look like anybody. So,
Right.
so I never had, like, hey, you look a little bit like, whoever, this person or that person. And so that was, I think, one of the reasons why I never really did much of it is I'm like, well, I just don't resemble anybody.
Right,
Scott, I
right.
will say this though, if I could just go out on a limb here. Sometimes, like, I'm praising James for making a fantastic costume, and I complimented the people who looked just like the Incredibles people. But sometimes a kid or an adult, maybe you're not incredibly skilled, but you work on this thing, and maybe you're using cardboard and staples and screws, nuts, bolts, and some gaffer tape or whatever, and you're doing the best you can
Yeah.
to make that costume.
I
Just
love
show
that.
the passion.
When I
right?
first started, I used to criticize that. Oh, that doesn't look. But I have changed
What?
over time.
Yay, growth.
I've changed. I've evolved because I do realize putting together my own stuff that sometimes you can't make it perfect, but you have this passion and you want to dress up and celebrate this character that you love so much. And you want to go to this convention and celebrate with other people who just like it just like you. And so when I see a costume that maybe isn't the greatest, I say to myself, that took time. Good job.
Right,
Great,
Larry,
great
Larry,
job. Yes.
Larry. Okay,
Yes.
I have to tell you this. There was a sci-fi convention that was at what was going to be my future high school, Lincoln High School in San Francisco.
Wow.
And I don't remember all the guests, but I know that George Takei was going to be there. And George Takei was going to judge the costume contest. So I took on the ambitious project of making my own Gorn costume from Star Trek.
Wow.
Wow.
So this is what I did. I got a balloon and I covered the balloon in paper mache because this is all I knew how to do. And I knew how to make paper mache.
Yeah.
So I did covered the whole thing. And then, you pop the balloon and now you've got this shell.
Yeah.
And then I also took some paper mache and built up the eyebrow. I don't think I had enough time or the ability to make a perfect mouth with all the teeth,
Right.
but I made one out of cardboard and I glued it to it. And I painted the whole thing. And so then I had this long sleeve green shirt and I got a bunch of pillows and I just put them all in the shirt and then I just got some material and made that little like Tarzan tunic thing that he wears and put that over that and had a belt and made, got a dowel from some paper towels and made that into my little universal translator and had a knife and got some boots. And I did the best I could.
Yeah.
Matt, do you have any photos of yourself?
I don't. I wish I
yeah.
But I came in second.
Wow. That's pretty
I came
good.
in second.
That's awesome.
There were 3 people in the costume contest, but
But still, that's great.
Yeah,
That's pretty
awesome.
cool.
but that was one of those ones where you go like, hey, I'm just going to go for it.
Yeah.
Right.
But
Yeah,
I was
it's
in
fun.
junior high school and I actually went back to class and there was a guy who was kind of a hoodlum friend of mine, but he was also kind of a dick but he liked Star Trek. And I remember I said, hey, yeah, I went to the Star Trek convention and I came in second place as the Gorn. His only response was bullshit. But I knew.
Do you remember who came in first, Matt?
I don't know. As soon as they called my name, I stopped listening to anything else that was happening.
No, second is fantastic.
No,
Yeah,
I think I got a little money and I got a couple
Cool.
light sticks and
Wow.
Cool.
yeah, it was a good time.
So you got a little money to spend on some lighter fluid to make your Super 8 movie and burn something.
Right.
Nice.
Oh, here's a costume that I would love to do if I had unlimited funds. Here you go. I think you guys will all like this. I would like to do the environmental suit, the space suit from Alien.
Oh, yeah.
One of those.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
Ron Cobb
Including the
design.
lights
Yeah.
and then the
Yeah.
little steam thing.
Yeah. It is so great.
Now,
You
would
never
you
see
do
that.
the one like the Away Crew, or would you do the white one like Ripley had?
Oh, good question. You're right.
Oh, that's a good idea.
I
'Cause
kind of
then
like
I
the
could
away
come out.
crew.
I could, if I did the white one, then I could do a little show. Like
Yeah.
at the end, I come
Right.
out there, and the
You
helmet's
show your butt
black.
crack and
Well, right. Yeah, the helmet's black, so they can't see what gender I am. And then I just start taking it off. And then one hairy leg comes out of the suit. And then you see some sweat-stained boxer shorts.
That was the first place winner of the one that you went to, Matt, where you got second place.
Well, how can you compete?
Right.
Yeah. That's a great idea. I think I now want to do the white one.
Yeah, that's cool. Well, I was going to say, speaking of fandom, one thing that all of us have always commented on saying is that when it comes to especially horror fans, like Monsterpalooza, which we go to every year, fans and the people selling things, everybody couldn't be nicer. People were into these gory, violent horror films, but they're the coolest people. I mean, they're a great group of fandom, great community.
Maybe the nicest.
Yeah.
And at those horror conventions, you also not only do you get great costumes, but you also get amazing makeup.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Right.
Yes,
Yes.
exactly. Yeah, it's pretty cool.
And that's the fun of Monsterpalooza too, is to be able to see the transformation. One of those makeup costume display tutorials or whatever, and they make up somebody, and it's always incredible. Yeah. And they'll have guys on stilts, and I mean, that's what really makes that show fun.
So much artistry and creativity, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We have talked about the costumes and stuff. You're not going to believe this, but on January 31st, do you guys realize it was National Gorilla Suit Day?
Yeah.
Oh,
I missed it. I know
I missed it too.
I missed it. And National Gorilla Suit Day was invented by Mad Magazine cartoonist Don Martin back in 1964.
Really?
Yeah.
Don Martin, the artist of Mad Magazine.
And
really?
the funny thing is,
I love him.
It was done as a
me
joke.
Too.
It was done as a joke, but it's turned into this
That's
big thing. There are people who go out of their way to celebrate National Gorilla Suit Day. In fact, Mr. Lobo from Cinema and
the horror host, yes.
Yeah, he did a whole thing. We're doing a whole week of National Gorilla
that's cool.
Suit Day. So
that's cool.
Now, I have a gorilla mask, but Matt, are you the only one that has a gorilla costume?
I do have a gorilla costume. Now, my wife got this for me on my 40th birthday. And that's when I knew I was going to marry her.
Yeah.
This was amazing. She got this thing. And the only problem with the suit is that the mask that came with it was very primitive.
Yeah.
Not articulated in any way. So then I picked up a Don Post one, a pretty nice Don Post one.
Ooh.
And I used to wear that, but the problem with that one is it eventually deteriorated.
Right.
But what I want, again, this is one of those ones where, if you had unlimited funds, to get a really nice one that you would see in like a Three Stooges short.
Right.
That kind of gorilla articulated mask.
I love those.
And I would love that.
And then
Tracy the gorilla.
Then you could put your paper mache skills to use and make the top of the Empire State Building to carry around with you.
And then there'd be no problem falling off of it as the paper mache crumbled under my hands.
That reminds me of another cosplay dream idea that I think we've talked about before, which is to go as Cornelius from Escape from the Planet of the Apes, wearing the multicolored bathrobe.
Yes. God, they got to put that figure out too. Where's that figure?
I tried to customize one. I was looking for that bathrobe. I couldn't find it anywhere from that scale.
Right. Okay. Just a little beef here. Okay, we're talking about a little bit about gorilla suits. No. Bear with me.
I will.
I love the makeup from Planet of the Apes. Love it.
Yeah, sure.
There's a scene in Beneath the Planet of the Apes in the steam bath.
Yeah.
And the makeup looks great. And it looks like they're just wearing
it's a classic gorilla suit.
It's just gorilla.
Yeah, that's all it is.
It's also pretty silly too.
No, but the concept is great. Going to the steam room, but
it's Ursus, General Ursus and Zeus, right?
Yeah, but
would apes go to a steam room?
Sure.
Would that be enjoyable? I just don't. I don't see that happening.
No, they're
I want a play set. We didn't make a play set. The Steam Bath play
it
set.
makes total
With the
sense.
figures.
He's a general. This guy is like the head of religion and science and stuff. These guys are up there. They are the privileged apes. They get to go to the steam room.
The only good steam bath is a hot steam bath.
Couldn't you guys? Didn't they have a budget to make a little better furry?
Yeah, I know. Yeah, and there's no time. Yeah.
Scott, one cosplay for you could be the Richard Attenborough from Jurassic Park.
Well, now, yeah.
I was thinking that.
Although you do see that now with practically every convention. So
True.
But what I love about it is that you've got these, seniors or middle-aged men who are like, but they don't really have to make an effort to do anything, but they'll put on the white hat, they'll carry the cane, and that's okay, that's him.
I was going to say, in my opinion, those are the best costumes ever. The ones that all you do is lose one or two accessories and you can just blend in with the crowd.
Right, exactly.
Right.
Well, speaking of that, I was in Tokyo last Halloween, and in Shibuya, this neighborhood in Tokyo, that's where the whole kind of street party is, where, you can dress up. And I thought, okay, well, let me try Snake Plissken there, because I think the character is kind of known in Japan. But they had a lot of incidents with people getting really drunk and rowdy in Shibuya. So
Right.
Since the last few years, there's been a police presence and this kind of anti-cosplay element.
Really?
Shibuya.
Oh, that's too bad.
Wow.
So I didn't have the eye patch on, but otherwise I pretty much had the costume on, except the eye patch. And we went into department stores. Like there was a department store that had a Godzilla store in it. And there was a sign when we walked in that basically said, if you're wearing a Halloween costume, you can't come in.
No.
But they didn't bat an eyelash at me because I was just wearing like a leather jacket and
That's funny.
camouflage pants, and I was fine.
You were bounding.
Right.
Why can't you go in the store if you got a Halloween costume?
Well,
Maybe they think you can rob.
They're just frowning on the whole Halloween thing now because of what happened a few years ago. But another thing that dawned on me in that experience was that cosplay, I guess particularly in Japan, is a different thing than Halloween costumes in Japan, because Halloween in Japan is just like you wear something goofy and it's just like, hey, I'm in costume. There isn't the kind of attention that you would normally pay, especially in Japan, at channeling a character in a costume, because it's kind of a different thing.
Right. Interesting.
Getting back to gorilla suits, and I know, Scott, that you were saying that you do custom figures.
Yeah.
One that I've been working on is I wanted a classic gorilla action figure, one that that you would see in a Three Stooges short.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's true. They don't really have those, huh?
No. And so I've been making one using all these different parts that I got from, that site that has all the Mego accessories and the costumes. And a lot of them are like knockoffs, or they're the extras from a lot of DC superhero characters. So I guess they had a bunch of different versions of like a Gorilla Grodd type suit.
Oh, yeah.
And so I got a bunch of the pieces for that, and the gorilla hands and the gorilla suit, and then the feet. And there's a gray patch for the chest. So I'm going to do something to the chest to make it look more like, maybe a shiny. I might even cover it with some rubber glue stuff. What do they call that?
Oh, yeah.
Like Flex Seal, like that kind of stuff.
Not Flex
do that.
Flex
Flex Flesh. Yeah, Dick Smith's Flex Flesh.
I had it.
Yeah. Oh, I think we all did. But
are you gonna flock your gorilla as well?
So the head that I got is from the Bob Burns Kogar model kit.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Because it comes with 3 separate heads. It comes with the Bob Burns head, it comes with the Tracy head, and then it comes with this Kogar head. So I'm going to use the Kogar head, and I'm on the fence about what I want to do with the hair, because to make it like your standard Mego figure, I would just have flat black painted hair.
Sure.
Right.
Like you were saying, flock. Maybe that's the way to go.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Speaking of which, like when Mego started making, figures again, which is so awesome, they finally started making more monster figures, and they put out a pretty generic Wolfman. Yeah. And it was flocked. It was a flocked Wolfman, and it's so cool. It's just
nice. It's cool. Yes.
There's something so awesome about that. I mean, I just love those.
Yeah, I was in Target the other day, and I was looking at the collector's section.
Yeah, I love that section.
I do that every time.
And they had a Mego of the pirate captain from The Fog, and I'm like, what world am I
Wow.
living in that
Yeah.
is something I can
Is that
buy at my
Mego or is it?
local.
Is
I think it was
NECA.
Oh, is it NECA?
Yeah, because
Oh, okay.
I have that one. Yeah.
All right,
It's awesome.
Yeah, and the eyes light up.
Beautiful.
Oh, do they really?
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
that's
Oh,
the
that's
thing
cool.
about, again, talking about being monster kids and how nerds rule now. I mean, the figures they're putting out now, we talked about, I think it was in our last gift guide, I mentioned the shock monster. The shock monster was this generic ghoul mask. I
Oh,
think it
right,
was
with the
a
hanging
top,
eye.
yes,
Yeah.
top stone masks. And it was just this classic looking, kind of generic, but just really cool ghoul zombie monster. And I don't think it's NECA, maybe it maybe was Trick or Treat Studios, I think maybe, but they put out a beautiful Mego style shock monster. And it's amazing. It's got the straggly hair and it's so cool. Like, who'd have thought that would be coming out?
NECA's been doing all those Ben Cooper, like the little kid dolls. With
Yes,
They just
they
took off like
have.
crazy.
Oh my gosh,
we all
there's so
have
many
we
of
have
them.
them.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. It's just
They're
again,
We
great.
like,
have to, because that's what we wore when we were those.
I know. But I talk about, zeroing in on that generation and putting out these quality collectibles, I mean, they're amazing.
Matt,
Well,
did you get any
isn't
of those
all-
for Christmas? Did you get any of those?
I got them for myself.
What, the Ben Cooper?
Yeah,
Ben Cooper
and
Jenny
Larry
for-
Larry got some for Gina and I as well. I mean, they're just so cool.
The Ben Cooper guys got me though twice, because I had to get the Batman one, because when I was a kid I wore out a Batman suit every year. For maybe like 6-7 years. But then I forget who the other figure was, but they came with. Do you guys remember the plastic jack-o'-lantern buckets that we would use for trick-or-treating?
Oh,
Yeah.
So I forget which figure. Another figure came with that bucket, and I'm like, well, if I'm gonna make little Scott, action figure, I have to have the jack-o'-lantern bucket. So I have that in my world famous Batman bathroom. He's part of the display.
Nice.
Well, it's funny.
Nice.
NECA first came out. The first series had a Ben Cooper creature from the Black Lagoon from the 70s. And of course, that's the costume I never had and always wanted.
Right.
And I jumped on it right away. But there's a little girl in the costume. She has little ponytails. And I'm like, oh, I need a little boy in this costume. But wouldn't you know, they came out with a glow set, and they made a little boy in the creature outfit
Very cool.
as part of the glow set. And so I got both of them now.
Did you finally get that 70s costume, Larry?
Oh yes. Oh.
And is it minted package?
Well, as mint as you
it can
possibly
be.
get.
Oh,
Right, for a Ben Cooper.
Yes.
Right.
Check this out, Scott. This is how pathetic I am. So, like Matt says, oh, Larry likes to get 2, sometimes 3, because one to keep in the box, one to display, and one just in case.
Just in case, yeah.
Now, that costume is very pricey, and I have one in the box. But recently, I shouldn't say recently, a little while ago, someone just had a costume for sale, and I picked that up. And then someone had just the mask for sale. And so I managed to got those. So now I have one perfect in the box, and I have another spare one.
And do you wear that around the house?
Scott, I can't. It's for little kids, Scott. I'm not going to put.
It could still.
He only wears it on his anniversary.
Right.
I put it up on a shelf, and I go, ooh.
Oh, Andy. Ooh.
And Scott, I'd like you to know, not only do I have the one from the 70s,
right,
but I have the Collegeville one from the 80s.
Nice.
And I have the one from the 90s and the Target exclusive from the 2000s.
Now, do you own any other of those types of masks other than the creature? Do you have any other of those characters, or?
I have some. I did for Patreon. I showed off some of my vintage kids costumes that are Ben Coopers and Collegevilles. And so I showed a bunch. I've got a skeleton, a Frankenstein, a Wolfman. I have some of the basic ones, but it's neat because think about it, Scott, when those costumes came out, they're cheap. I mean, that is
$2-3
off the rack.
No, I'm meaning the quality.
The quality is not that you were expected to wear it and then maybe wear it another time, it would fall apart. The one thing I love, Halloween, I love it so much. My goal was to get my buddies from Monster Party here each a vintage Halloween costumes,
Oh.
something from like, you know, when they were kids. And I managed, I've got all three of them.
Yeah,
Costumes.
yeah,
I mean, some of them maybe they never had before, but like Sean loves Buck Rogers.
Yeah,
I was
Buck Rogers.
able
You
to
got me
get
original.
him.
It's hanging. It's displayed on our
Nice.
wall.
You know,
Nice.
Matt had this costume as a kid. It was like a drunken clown.
Uh-huh.
And
It was
I got that
no,
box.
excuse me.
Oh,
It's
I'm
a
sorry.
hobo.
Hobo.
A hobo.
yeah.
I'm sorry.
A
I'm sorry.
drunk
It was. I
hobo.
apologize. It wasn't a clown. It was a hobo.
That'd be
And-
great
and-
though if they actually released a figure, a costume back in the day, and called it
Yeah.
Drunken Clown.
No, and then
Kids.
James, I got James Fred Flintstone. And
Yeah.
look,
yeah,
the
yeah. Very
costumes, all three of the costumes may not be in perfect shape, but again, these were costumes that came out a while ago. Just to
Yeah,
have it in
yeah.
the box. is
Oh man,
cool.
I want to be on your guys' Secret Santa list because Larry, you are a excellent gift giver.
Yes,
and,
he
and
is.
I
Yes,
and I would
yes.
I have lots of collections just like you guys do, and I've at an advanced age now, so I have to be a lot choosier about what
Yes,
I
right.
buy because otherwise it just grows out of control. But I always said that if I was going to add one more type of collection to my pantheon of collections, it would have been a collection like I wanted to make a wall of those Ben Cooper and College Town masks
Yeah.
Really?
of the characters that because I love the way they look. I've
Yeah.
had many, of them over the years, but of course, like you say, Larry, they don't last very long. I like I said, I went through a Batman suit a year. The rubber string would break or the face would crack on the edges, and the minute they start to become less than pristine, I also was like, I got to get another one. I want a nice one, So I still do have a couple of Batmans, but I have like an original cloth suited Ben Cooper, and then I have a vinyl suited Ben Cooper.
Cool.
So,
cool.
so Scott,
Well,
do you
but
have the
that's-
one that's the play suit that has the little cap? It's a little cloth cap
That
has
was
a little...
before my time, Larry.
Wow.
That the cloth one was. I never had that as a kid. I only had the vinyl.
But see,
Right.
that's what's great about the NECA lines is that they don't take up as much room.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're sturdy,
Yes.
Yeah.
and you're getting a model to wear them as well.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
I
yeah.
think that's beautiful. And then Larry, for Christmas, he got me all 4 Kiss costumes.
I did.
Yeah.
I did.
And that made me so happy. And I love that line. I really hope they keep going because there's so many more that they could do. We've joked about them doing
Yes.
like the Village People one.
Yes.
And,
And they-
I'd love
and
to
they're-
see some of the really stupid ones, but there's one dumb one that I would love just to be a completist is I love the Ultraman costume. It looks
Yes.
nothing
Yeah.
like him.
Yes.
It's gold. The mask is gold, but
Yeah.
it says Ultraman, so I believe it.
Really?
And
That's funny.
I would love to have that. I would also love it if they did a line of the light up ones. Wouldn't that be great, Larry? If they
yeah.
did,
Oh my gosh!
like they did the
could
hobo
do
with
that.
the light up nose.
Oh,
Matt, they could totally do that with the batteries now.
Yes,
the little
yeah.
circular ones.
But how many different? Okay, of course. So the hobo had the light up nose, but
Yeah.
how many other costumes had light up? Like what elements
Sean.
had light
Yeah,
up?
yeah.
Sean, there was a series. There was a robot, a spaceman. There was there was a bunch of others. There was a Frankenstein.
Yeah.
Wow,
it
I
looked a
never
little-
saw kids back in the day. I never saw light up ones.
Well, because
Because they couldn't afford it.
No, that's
Yeah.
Sean.
You lived in
I
a
guess
bad
it's-
neighborhood.
I did. I
Sean.
did. Yeah, I had the poor neighborhood.
Typically, these costumes like $1.99, $2.49, and the light up ones might have been $3.49 or
Yeah.
$4.99.
Yeah,
okay, okay.
Yeah.
Whoa,
And, my
hey.
parents are like, forget it. No.
Yeah.
You're gonna wear a
And-
paper bag again this year and like it.
Now,
And
here,
Sean,
Scott,
it might surprise you, Sean, but the electronics in those weren't very good. So
Oh, I'm sure
No,
they
they
very
weren't.
quickly. Yeah.
No, that's true.
True.
Hey,
That's true. Yeah.
Scott, the one thing that NECA has been doing, and look, by all means, do it. What they're doing is they're also experimenting with costumes that may have never been made before.
yeah, that's fun,
Yeah.
right?
And-
Like the Tar
and-
Man from Return of the
fantasy,
Living
yeah,
Dead.
yeah.
or-
Pennywise.
you know,
I'm not into those as
Pennywise.
much.
No,
Nah.
I think it's neat. I think it's neat. This is like imagine, gee, what if they did make
Sure.
this? And maybe that's not for me. I wanted the more vintage ones.
See,
But just
those,
recently they did a series of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Now those
right.
that's huge. There's a
Right.
whole batch of fans out there. That's not necessarily my thing,
Right.
but
Yeah,
as
yeah.
long as
Terrifier.
they continue to do this, well, we're going to do Cubert next, or we're going to do, Barry.
See, if
Gibb,
I can see if
the
you're like
Village People.
if you're an uber fan of like Tarman from Return of the Living Dead, you want to get every kind of incarnation of Tarman, then you would get the Tarman NECA because it's just because it's a novelty. Yeah.
But you're also trying to reach out to the next generation too.
Yeah,
It's
exactly,
not just all of us. It's like the fans of Terrifier and the Thanksgiving Man or whatever.
Thanksgiving Man.
Thanksgiving Man.
I fear the one that I would want the most now that I have my vintage Batman. They'll never make, and that is the Hatbox Ghost from the Haunted Mansion, because there was a Ben Cooper mask and
Are you sure?
poncho. Yeah, absolutely.
Really?
Yeah, it was called like, it had a name like it was a Gentleman Ghost or something, or Creep, or it had some name but it is the Hatbox Ghost from the Haunted Mansion.
I've never.
Interesting.
Well, they could do all those characters.
Well, they could if they had the license, but
That's just it. You need the license for it.
Yeah.
Like a lot of people are waiting for, when's the NECA Spider-Man coming out? We haven't seen that.
True.
All right, all the Marvel characters.
Yeah,
They could also. How about other Godzilla monsters?
Well, they only.
Yeah,
I'm only familiar with the Godzilla one. That I think we all have that Ben Cooper figure.
But see, that's the thing. Because I'm such a Hedera fan, Smog Monster fan, and I have a whole Smog Monster shelf. If NECA put out like a fantasy NECA Ben Cooper kid wearing Hedera with like the word Hedera on his chest, that would be awesome. And I would get that.
I know.
With the
I'd be
Hedera.
right with you. I'd be right there.
That would be cool.
What would the costume look like? Would it just say Hedera?
It would. It'd be like,
it would say Save the Earth
on it.
Look at pollution.
and it'd be bright yellow.
It would glow, and it would glow.
Yeah, by the way,
awesome.
Terrible.
That Hatbox Ben Cooper is called Mr. Spooky. So if you look up Mr. Spooky online, you can see.
That's my online. That's my online name.
Yeah, you beat me to it.
Was that a licensed Haunted Mansion, or was it just sort of a wink and a knockoff?
I don't know.
unofficial.
I mean, I don't. It's probably a wink and a nod, most likely.
Yeah. Interesting though. I didn't know that they put that out.
Yeah.
Well, I'm hoping, because they've done the classic Frankenstein, they've done a Mummy, a Wolfman, but those were the Ben Coopers. I'm hoping they'll do the 80s versions, which are the Collegeville ones, because the paint that was used on those masks is kind of like a neon looking thing. So in black light, they really pop.
Yeah.
And the costumes are kind of, it's more elaborate for the painting on the chest. It doesn't just say creature. It has a more of a cool picture of it.
Some more colorful.
That creep that you were talking about earlier with the eye hanging down. My brother and I used to make.
Monster.
We used to make haunted houses as kids, and we used that mask as one of the faces for our. We would make dummies and masks on them. And so that
monster mask.
Yeah, so that guy, I'm very fond of that design, just because he was something we used when we were kids.
Yeah, that's
Scott,
cool.
you mentioned a Batman bathroom. Do you have customize your bathroom to be all Batman
Well,
themed?
it's not as custom as I would. If I had my druthers, it would be ridiculous. But no, it's.
Do you have a pole that goes right into the toilet?
Or to open the door, you have to open up William Shakespeare's head.
You sit on the toilet and you flush it and you rotate around. Now you're in Batman's costume.
Now you're taking a shit in the Batcave.
No, so over the years it's morphed. It started as just kind of another room to put many of my collectibles.
I get it.
Recently, I've kind of classed up the joint a little, and now I only put in authentic, like original artwork and prints, and I have a photograph signed by Bob Kane. I have a Jerry Robinson sketch of Batman. I have a Dick Sprang print from the Warner Brothers store. I have I think you have this, Matt, the Bruce Timm villain lineup from the animated series that the Warner Brothers store used to
cool.
I have something like that. What the one thing that I got that was like the big purchase from the Warner Brothers store was the animated animation.
Oh, yeah. Yes.
And that thing is currently not working, but I found that there is a place that you can ship it to that will refurbish the whole thing and replace, because a lot of the gears were plastic.
Yeah.
And they would just deteriorate.
And stuff, Matt, when you die, could you will that to me, please?
It really is a show.
Scott,
so cool.
I'm sorry to interrupt, but did you say that you have original artwork and framed autograph pictures in the bathroom.
Yeah, they're protected.
Where you shower.
No, there's no shower. There's no shower. It's just a
number.
Yeah.
It's a half bath. So
Okay.
But
Because
still,
the
No steam,
would-
no steam.
no
Really?
steam. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, why not? Hey, if it's
Because you put it in the living room, Sean. That's what
Well,
you
he's
do.
got
Because that's
other
where the
stuff,
haunted
bro.
mansion stuff is, Larry.
Yeah, you
Come
got-
on.
See,
Take your bath.
I'm it's vice versa with me. I figure
Yeah,
the
Matt's
scariest
bathroom
place
is
is the toilet.
famously
Yeah.
Right, yeah, it's haunted mansion. I know, yeah. Yeah, that's my living room. I mean, I don't have the wallpaper, but I have just about everything else in there.
wow.
That's
It's
cool.
just the bathroom. I think you should have just like the plastic toys, things that can't.
Well, there
get
are
damaged
there
over
were for a
time.
long time there were
But
plastic
not
toys, but they get
original
dusty.
artwork.
Well, but no, you can seal up the original artwork behind glass and hang them on your wall.
Mold. You know,
I've never had anything ever mold that I put in the bathroom.
No, there's no mold. I mean, it doesn't
never.
happen. I get dust more in that room than I do
Right.
mold or anything.
So is there a sign on the door that says instead of bathroom, bat room?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Nice. That's awesome.
And so just
It has-
everything labeled like that paper.
No, I'm more of a comic book Batman fan than I
Okay,
love the
okay.
60s stuff. But
Sure.
No, but I do have Batman themed fittings on like the cabinets and the
Oh, cool.
I
Little bats.
for years I had a black cover on the toilet, but then it cracked and I had to get rid of it and get something else.
But
So-
Right.
do you have Batman toilet paper? Does it have little bats on
once
it?
in a blue moon, a roll will show up, but mostly it's just the nice 4-ply, you know.
Okay,
Oh,
sure.
Scott, I have a Batman light switch cover.
Oh, I have one of those too, the Hallmark one.
You
That's
have
the
the
one
one
that's
it
in
glows
the-
in the dark?
Yeah. That's the one I have in the bathroom.
Wow.
Okay,
I had to repaint it a few
Wow.
times because my kids would
Yes,
scratch
yeah.
the paint off as they
I've
were
had to do the
doing their
same.
business.
Can't
Yeah.
you teach those kids anything?
Not my kids, unfortunately.
Now, this is another question I had, and I'm going along the lines of what Larry is thinking, maybe, of the problems with the bathroom and maybe having some artwork in it.
Yeah.
And do you ever worry about having a faint smell of poo on your original?
I do, but there's a fan in the bathroom, and I always remind everybody to please turn on the fan and close the lid to the toilet when you're done, so nothing
that's
falls
great. Oh, that's gonna work. Yeah.
It does.
Well, I'd
Scott.
hate to see, the estate
I've had this
sale
room, Larry.
and somebody goes,
Scott, how can you disrespect your
Larry,
artwork
you
that
can
well?
visit Scott and use the bathroom and test it out. How about that?
That's right.
No,
You're welcome to come over
would-
and try it.
I would not I would feel bad using his bathroom. That's
He
the
doesn't.
thing. I'd rather
That's
go
okay.
in
You
his
can use
backyard or something.
You can use the upstairs one, which is only lightly themed. Rather
That's
than
My Little
all-
Pony bathroom. You can
No,
use that.
it's Winnie the Pooh, but you know.
Well, that's
There you go.
apropos. Right?
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
I picture kind of a Peter Sellers from the party kind of scenario where you're all out of paper. So what do I use?
right.
Well, you're not invited, Matt. so-
Look, from one collector to another. The standard rules for people who collect either artwork or posters. Number one, you don't have your artworrt or lobby Carter poster getting direct sunlight.
Yeah, but see,
hitting it.
Larry,
Yeah, there's no window. There's no
Put
window
it
in that room.
the
But
bathroom.
see, Scott has fun with his collection. You just feel like
have
everything in a
fun
vault with
putting-
your stuff and like don't look at it. Don't even point at it. Don't go
Don't
away.
look at it. No,
It's there.
Sean, you can have it in the dining room. You can have it in the living room.
Larry,
Hallway.
I
You're a
have,
collector. You
I
can have
have
it anywhere
many
you
other
want, as long
things
as you
all
take
over my
care.
house. The Batman bathroom is the one room that my wife lets me go nuts. So I just,
cool.
I decorate it to the hilt. If you come into my house, you'd look around, you'd be like, well, wait, there's no difference. You got stuff everywhere. But
good wife.
the Batman room when I was a kid, I always wanted to have a house that had different themed rooms. I wanted to have,
that's cool.
like an Adventureland type room. I wanted to have a, Western room, whatever. I wanted themed rooms in my house. And unfortunately, I didn't really get that, but that's okay. I have my Batman bathroom and that's enough for me.
Well,
Yeah,
Scott, you're
that's
like
cool.
many of us. Look, not all of us are lucky enough to have a 7-bedroom house.
Oh, I don't. I live in a
Sometimes-
2-bedroom townhouse. So
Yes, and
I
sometimes-
gotta put my collection where I can.
Exactly. I'm
But
just
yeah,
saying,
sure.
surely you could put your artwork someplace other than the bathroom.
I love
if
the
it were
idea.
Larry, it would be in the garage.
Right.
Sure,
I
right.
love the idea that after this show, Larry is going to spend countless nights sweating and losing sleep over the fact that something in my Batman collection might slip and go into the toilet.
No,
Scott, you
the,
have
the minute you're off the show, he's
Maybe
you're dead to
Larry,
him.
I've been
Scott-
sending you a lot of photos lately of fun things whenever I see them, and through Facebook Messenger and whatnot. Would it make you feel better that if every day I give you an update from the Batman bathroom and
Look,
send a photograph of
it is
the
not
collection?
It is not necessary for you to
Do
do
a
that, but I
pH
am
test.
already sweating of something that's valuable that's sitting in the
Right.
or hanging in the
No,
bathroom.
but you see, you could take if you have a big poop, you could take that poop and sculpt it into a clay face figure.
See,
Oh, that's good. That's good,
listeners,
Sean.
I am
That's
so
imaginative.
sorry. I
and
apologize.
spray it with like
listeners.
acrylic so it
Sean
stays.
That's too far. That's too far,
Sheridan's
Sean.
Every
immature
time you take a shit,
discussion.
it's Clayface.
Okay, see, guys,
There you
why
go.
go there?
They're
Why
making
get-
a movie of Clayface. Come on,
That's
it's a perfect
true.
time to do it.
Hey, Scott. So, do you have any statues in your house?
No, statues. Well, I have a few, but mostly statues terrify me.
Really?
Because they'll break. I've had so many things break over the years. And,
No, that is
and I have
yeah.
limited down my. I think I have. I have only Haunted Mansion statues left.
Yeah.
Other than I did buy myself. Do you guys know who Jackson is from Star Wars? Jackson's
Star
the
Wars?
green
Jackson.
rabbit from
Oh yeah, the
Marvel
rabbit.
comic.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, we
Oh,
know
yeah.
very well.
Iconic.
I'm a big
The green rabbit.
I'm a big Star Wars fan, but I love Jackson in particular. And there's only like two things you can buy of Jackson. One is one of those 6-inch Star Wars action figures, and the other is a statue from Sideshow. They did one a few years ago, and I always
Really?
wanted it. Yeah, but he looks super breakable, so I've not worked up the nerve to display him anywhere yet. He's still in a
Dude,
box.
so right now we're having a bunch of problems with our home. There was
Oh,
a flooding
gosh, yeah.
situation that happened, and so now they've torn out a bunch of the floors that were damaged, but then they're going to go and they're going to replace everything. So we have to pack up all the stuff, and they're doing a pack out where they bring all our stuff to a separate location, but I'm not going to let them take my collectibles because they will destroy them. As you were pointing out, there are certain things that you have that if you look at them, they will break.
Right.
And so what I've been doing, I've got this little place where I'm putting all the statues, and I'm so careful, and I've got them all on little pedestals, and I'm tacking them onto the pedestal to make sure that they don't fall over, and making sure the cats don't get to them. Because there's some of that where you go, well, I can't imagine this thing breaking, and then your pinky brushes up against something and a finger falls off.
Or even if you're trying to be good and dust them, right? And then all of a sudden, the weather vane on your Haunted Mansion breaks off, and you're like, that was a $500 statue or something.
Yep.
Yeah.
I know. It's
I
rough.
live in mortal fear of. I do have. There was a guy. His last name's like Orshevsky or something like that, and
yeah.
And he makes the most gorgeous miniatures. He's literally made
Gallery of
Disneyland
Light.
in miniature. Yeah. Well, all those.
Really?
Right? Yeah, the Gallery of Light ones are awesome, but he's also done buildings, and I've seen them assembled when I was working for Disney. Somebody brought them in and lined them all up, and I'm like, oh my gosh, it's so amazing. But I saved up for the Haunted Mansion one, and it was pricey. It's probably one of the most expensive things in my collection, I guess, at least from a initial payout value. But it's got like little trees and little wrought iron fence and a weather vane, and
Wow.
it's on my television cabinet. But I have to occasionally, take everything off and dust and all that, and I am just always like, I'm trying to wipe it down to keep it clean.
Wow.
There was a line of 3D movie posters, like plaques from about 25 years ago, and one of them was the creature from the Black Lagoon.
Yes.
And Larry will know this because in that poster, one of the characters is holding a rifle.
It's
And
Richard Carlson as Dr.
and
David
in that-
Reed.
in the plaque, the rifle sort of juts out from
Yes.
and
Yes,
and
it does.
That thing is doomed to break. And of course, mine did. But what are you going to do?
Get this, James. Mine did too. It's a design flaw. It's a design. I was livid. I was livid because I hardly even. I was like it's Scott saying. I was dusting. Listeners, has this happened to you? You get this. You spend
No.
big bucks on an item. No. Let me finish. You spend big bucks on this fancy item, and then you're dusting, lightly dusting with a little feather duster, and this piece, this part that's jetting out, just snaps, and you're like, ah.
Yeah.
Do you know? I was so livid. I almost turned around and spent God knows how much for one on eBay, but I didn't.
Because that's not something you can just crazy glue either. That thing is like,
right.
No.
Right.
Oh,
I have this statue that is a recreation of a cover from, I remember it from an issue of Creepy, and it's a Frazetta painting of Dracula fighting a werewolf.
That's
a wolf.
That's the most beautiful, one of the most beautiful pieces of art.
Classic,
so good,
classic image. And they made this statue of it, and Dana Gould, out of his kindness, just gave it to me.
wow.
And I look up this thing, and it is worth a lot. And this was when it first came out. It was like $500 or something around there.
Sure.
Wow.
And I put this in a case, and I made sure there was nothing around it, and I had some figures near it, but everything seemed cool, you know. And then something happened. The case shook. There was an earthquake or something, and I tell you, like a little light figure, just kind of. I watched it happen. It just tilted forward and hit a finger. And the finger just came off.
No! Heartbreak.
And now, luckily, I'm a good repairer.
Yes,
and
you are.
And I repaired this thing, and you would never know that it was even.
But there's
broken.
only so many times you can also do that.
That's true. That's very true.
I had one of those. Do you guys remember those resin statues of the Batman? They were like maquettes of the Batman animated series.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
So I had like 3 of those. I had Robin, Batman, and the Joker, and over the years, this is part of the reason why I don't have statues anymore, is that something would happen, the cat would jump onto the shelf that they were on, or whatever, and then things just started breaking. You know, the bang gun on the Joker broke, and then the points on Batman's cape broke off, and the ear, and this and that, and after a while, you've got like this Frankenstein's monster of super glue.
That's true.
I know. It's not the same.
And then by the end of it, I was just like, it's just not worth the heartbreak, you know.
Scott, can I ask you a stupid question? If you had a lot of these statues, aren't there some of these statues that are made out of a material that can't take super glue?
Some of them can't even.
I had an Emir, Harryhausen Emir, that broke a little toe off. I'm like, I'll just super glue that. It's easy. No. And I can't find anything that'll glue that stupid toe back.
I mean, you try like Gorilla Glue or something like that. But
now there's a plastic glue that you can get from Amazon, and it is for plastic. And I'm telling you, since I discovered this glue, this stuff, it'll stick, you know, like that durable plastic.
Yeah.
That almost nothing sticks to. It'll stick to that. So
do you have to use an activator for it?
No, not at all. And it has the consistency. It's like in the same family as a super glue, but
send me a link.
Something to it.
Send me a link. I'll buy it.
I will. Yeah. But the Emir that you're talking about, Larry, is that one of the chess piece figures?
No, it came in a box of DVDs. It was one of these things that I already had. The funny thing is, I already had the DVDs, but my mom had purchased it for me because, honey, look, it's got a monster in it. And so, of course,
Your mom is a female impersonator?
No. But I put the DVDs aside because I love the figure, and the figure was next to all of my DVDs of all my signed Harryhausen DVDs.
Nice.
And I forget what happened. I think I was moving him, I was dusting, and the toe just broke off. And I thought, that's not a big deal. But I can't find anything that will do the job. But Matt, if you have this secret stuff.
You definitely should try it. And it's not that expensive either.
Another like danger of that is when you do have a delicate figure that falls off the shelf, okay, hits the floor. You pick it up. It's got a couple pieces. It came off. Damn. but the stress of trying to find those tiny pieces, which goes so much farther, bounce so much farther away than you think. They're into another room. You find it into another room. How did it get that? Recently happened to my the three because we dusted our shelves recently. The 3 dancing fish head people, the Iwakura figure, they fell. One of them, half his little foot came off and one arm, and amazingly, I found a tiny little foot. But the arm, like, where's the arm for days? I couldn't find it. And it was in another room.
Yeah.
How did they get there? And I did, luckily it broke off clean. I was able to get them on and it looks fine. You can't even tell.
Oh my God.
The stress, like, I thought, I can't, and especially that's a really rare piece too.
Yeah.
Sean, the same thing happened to me. I yelled at my wife, don't do any vacuuming.
Don't go in the room.
I don't know how many times Carrie walks in the room, she hears me swearing, and then she'll, what's wrong? And I'll go, okay, if you find a tiny hammer, let me know.
Don't vacuum.
There's a little Thor hammer somewhere here. I have like an 8x10 room that everything's in.
Yeah,
it's
well,
like,
where is it?
It go?
It's into another dimension.
Yeah, that's what it is. It falls.
the multiverse.
It goes through like a liminal space. Yeah. It's like the back rooms.
Yes, it falls through a warp.
It's like Skinamarink or whatever. It's like somewhere. Yeah, you're right. It's very stressful. But luckily, I was so relieved I found out. Oh my gosh, it's fine.
Yeah, I don't know how. That's like a weekly thing of like there are things where it's not even just that. It's like I'll be taking a medication and I'll drop a pill.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. And then the pill,
what is it?
And I don't want the pill. Yeah, it's like the laws of physics go nuts as soon as it hits the
you don't want the cat to eat it.
Yeah,
I don't want the cat to eat it. Exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's like I'll look everywhere, like Jesus Christ, what the hell? If I tried to hide this, I couldn't do it this well.
I know. Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Well, Scott, you were talking a lot about Disneyland, and I have my brother-in-law is Mark Catalina, and he works for Leslie Iwerks.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
And he made the documentary on Imagineering.
Yeah.
And they just did one amazing documentary. It's on Disney Plus right now called Disneyland Handcrafted.
Yep.
Yeah.
He produced this, and I think he did a lot of the interviews. When they did the Imagineering documentary, they realized there's all this footage Disney shot. He had them shoot the entire creation of Disneyland from when it was just dirt.
Yeah.
He had all this footage of the construction of it.
Yeah.
And it is incredible. And it is shot really well, too. It's like...
It's been upscaled. Sean, I was going to bring this up, too, because it's free on YouTube, the whole thing.
Oh, okay. So, yeah.
And it's absolutely gorgeous, and it's fascinating.
Incredible. And it's smart about it. The way they did it, too, is all the Imagineering and all the people who are still alive or the people, the historians who talk about, they're kept off camera. So it's just narration with the voices because you just want to stay in this footage. And it's incredible. And talk about, that classic danger on the construction site, short code, shake hands with danger. We're like, be careful when you're as a construction worker, you don't want to, kill yourself. These construction workers just flying by the seat of their pants doing this. They're like climbing on the top of cranes. Like you see the guy painting the top of the Matterhorn mountain, just like hanging by a rope. And
there's one guy on a tractor, and the tractor just flips over, and
he's fine. Yeah, it's crazy, but it's fascinating.
One of the most remarkable things about this also is that you see some of the guys with the cameras, and they're in helicopters and whatever.
Yeah,
and they don't have sound men. And yet, throughout the entire footage in this documentary, there are sounds of what they're showing.
Well, I think that was. I have to ask Mark this, but I have a feeling that may have been Foleyed in, possibly.
Yes,
and it helps because it immerses you. And
it does, but it would have had to have been Foleyed in. And I'm just like, they Foleyed all of this, like every tractor
amazing.
Noise, and it's astonishing. Yeah.
But just when you think how many more documentaries could it be on Disneyland? But it's really fascinating to watch, and the footage, like I said. Walt Disney was really smart in that he didn't wasn't just like a flyby thing or just shoot some stuff. I mean, it was like a professional movie crew shooting all this stuff.
Well, I mean, Disney was like Val Kilmer, right? Like for a lot of his life, he just walked around with a movie camera filming everything. He was obsessive.
Smoking a cigarette.
Yep.
Yeah. Oh my God. Everybody had a cigarette in their mouth or their hand at all times. I mean, everybody. It's crazy. But it's really fascinating. It's called Disneyland Handcrafted, and my brother-in-law helped make it. And it's really worth seeing.
Tell him good job.
Yeah, yeah.
I can't get enough of the Imagineering behind the scenes. Like
yeah.
I love it so much.
It's really cool.
That series is particularly fun for me. So I worked there for 5 years in the early 2010s, and everybody that was in that Imagineering documentary were somebody I worked with. So
Really?
yeah.
Wow.
Some of them good friends, some of them acquaintances or people that I worked on projects. But yeah, because I worked in the R&D department, so that's where they were coming up with a lot of the all types of cool things, the visual gags and building the robots and all that. And so, I'm watching, the Imagineering one about the Haunted Mansion, which was my favorite attraction. And here comes Lanny Smoot, who is a guy whose office I would always look for an excuse to go visit, or Daniel Joseph, who was a really good friend of mine when I worked there. And, just for me, it was moving in a way, just because it was like, oh, here's some friends I haven't seen in a while, and it was
Wow,
great.
that's cool. Yeah, that was really good. Really worth checking out.
I get a little down when I start to see a trend in rides where they start replacing the animatronics with 3D video or just video.
Yeah.
And there are times when they complement each other. The Harry Potter ride actually is a pretty good example of
Harry Potter ride's
a nice mixture of the two.
Yeah.
But there are some rides that, like, I think it was the Transformers one that I went to, where it was just like watching a movie.
Right.
Yeah.
And they maybe have one or two audio animatronics.
Exactly.
And that's it.
Right.
Yeah.
Or the King Kong ride at Universal now.
Yeah, they
We talked about that before. Yeah, I mean,
it's 3D and Peter Jackson directed.
It's impressive, but it's not the same.
Not like a
it's
giant mechanical Kong.
Yeah, you can't beat
your
that.
Tram.
Yeah,
No.
the Pirates of the Caribbean in, I want to say, Shanghai is one that it's technically extremely impressive. The ride system is amazing. I wrote a virtual version of it when I was working for Imagineering, but when we got done doing it, everybody kind of walked away and went, there's only 5 robots in the ride. There's, where Pirates of the Caribbean, it's famous partially because it has like 60 some odd audio animatronic characters in it, and that's including chickens and things like that. But still, to go from 63 or 65 to like 5, it just was like, this, I guess this is just where things are now,
Well, and then the environment too. Like the first part of Pirates of the Caribbean, you see the treasure cave, and then you see, a skeleton that's just hanging there, and nothing's even moving, and it's glorious.
Or there may be some
see that go away,
blowing a sail or something. Yeah.
It's so funny because you think about what they had to make this stuff at the time compared to now, and yet that stuff is so impressive. Like the craftsmanship is just incredible.
Look at it from a producing point of view. All of those robots cost a lot of money to make.
Do.
Sure.
And I think it was James that said when he went on the Avatar ride, there was really just the one big main Avatar character, which was really impressive, but it was just the one. And then they had other sight gags and
too much video.
Yeah.
Well, they wanted to add the same level of disappointment from the movie to the
no.
Right.
The reality is that as impressive as the technology in the modern Disneyland attractions and whatever, the ones all over the world are, they break down and they're not as reliable. And the gags that are the things that have survived the test of time and have kept running, 365 days a year, day in and day out, were the gags and illusions that were things that were based off of stuff that was invented in the 1800s. Like, again, the Haunted Mansion is a prime example. Like, there's a couple of projection effects. Those are, kind of circa 1960s or so. But the majority of the visuals and effects in that attraction are just old theatrical tricks. And I remember running into a guy who was a repairman who worked in the Haunted Mansion, and we were installing technology for a project that I was working on. And he kind of scoffed derisively at us when we told him what we were doing, because he's like, man, if I had a nickel for every time you Imagineers came through with your highfalutin technology, I would be a rich man. And he's like, the only stuff that works is the old fashioned stuff. And he was 100% right. I mean, that's kind of the magic of Disneyland is like you say, Sean, that it was created by these people being very ingenious and kind of foolhardy in some cases.
Yeah, I mean, but they just did it. Like that was Walt's always his edict, just
Yeah.
like, "Oh, this didn't work. Well, try something else.
Yeah, just get it done. Yeah.
Oh, it's always the case.
So, like I said, when I worked in the Haunted Mansion as an Imagineer, we were installing this technology for what eventually if you guys ever use the Disney Play app, it's what powers the Disney Play app. It's all the Bluetooth and all that. But I was feeling, it was like my first month or so as an Imagineer, and I was feeling like, what am I doing here? I was a guy who was making video games, completely virtual stuff, and now I'm in, Anaheim, Disneyland, this place that is essentially my Mecca, my
Yeah.
it's my church, my Sistine Chapel. And so I'm in the Haunted Mansion and I'm feeling very intimidated. And then you guys know the effect where the statue heads kind of turn and look at you.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Right. So I walked behind that wall because we were checking every nook and cranny to see where we could put technology. And I noticed that those statues, how the effect works. Sorry, I'm going to ruin it for somebody, but it's just a reversed, like the stuff that like the masks, right? Like the Ben Cooper mask. It's just that material, but what they do is they reverse it and then they light it in a certain way, and the light makes it look like a 3D object. And so on the back wall where those statues are, were these two large sheets of plastic, blown plastic with like 6 nails holding them up. And I looked at that and I went, this is the exact same thing I was doing in my garage when I was 8 years old. And I'm like, the only difference between the Haunted Mansion and my garage is they have a permanent location and a bigger budget. And that realization emboldened me to kind of go, look, Disneyland was built by people. It isn't something that kind of magically sprouted out of the ground, or, a wizard waved their wand and it appeared. It was just people figuring it out and building it and until they got it right. And for me, that was like a huge bolster. That helped me a lot in my career at Disney.
Yeah, that's so cool.
Question. If Walt Disney saw Disneyland today, what do you think his takeaways would be?
It's funny. I just had this conversation with somebody.
Really?
I said, what do you think would be the thing that would upset Walt the most?
Well, yeah.
Would it be the cost of admission?
Yes.
Would it be the crowdedness, the unpleasant crowdedness conditions of the park with capacity? Or would it be that the cast members now have like tattoos and beards and earrings and things like that, right? And my friend was like, well, I didn't know the man personally, but Walt was a pretty open-minded dude. He hung out with Salvador Dali, right? And other really interesting characters. So he was like, I don't think he'd be too upset about the beards and the tattoos. He goes, I think he would have been upset about how expensive things were.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, what about the fact that in one of the parks, California Adventure, for example, you can drink?
Yeah. Well, Walt liked a good Scotch mist every day. No, not at all. That guy had like 5 o'clock rolled around and he had his Scotch mist in his hand, and then
but you don't think it would be different from the fact that he's having a cocktail as opposed to us having a cocktail?
I don't know. He worked in Hollywood, right? Like that was
he did.
It was a swinging lifestyle.
Yeah.
True.
All right.
True.
But I mean,
I do think the one thing that he would get upset about is the price of the ticket, and I think that I understand that with all this stuff and the price of just the way inflation and stuff, I think he would understand that. But I think his attitude was, how can a family of 4 or 5 afford to make this trek from Iowa and pay money for the food and all these other things, and when it's so expensive to go to the park? I think he would be upset about it. But of course, it's a
gougy.
Business. Huh?
Parking, it's gougy. They're gouging.
Parking alone.
Yeah.
And for me, the reliance on apps now, where it's like, I want to go to Disneyland so I don't have to look at my phone. Now it's like the whole thing has to be planned.
Yeah, it's true. You have to.
Yeah. We went around Halloween last year and we couldn't get into Haunted Mansion because we weren't part of the virtual line. It's like, are you fucking kidding me? This is a 50-year-old ride. And I was always able to go on Haunted Mansion. Now I needed to like reserve on an app. Are you kidding me? This is bullshit. And from what I was spending at the end of the day, and I know I almost wanted to do an episode called Disney Bitch Fest because there's so many things. There's the parks, there's the IP.
General parks in general, Universal Studios. I mean, all
forget about what they're doing in Walt Disney World in Florida. They tore down Tom Sawyer Island. Now they're making Cars Land.
Yep.
And they tore down. When I was 7, I went to Disney World, and the thing that impressed me, the very first moment was we went down Main Street. We went into the silent movie theater where you could see Steamboat Willie.
Right.
And you still have that in Disneyland, but in Florida, that is now a gift shop. It's like, oh, you fuckers. I'm walking around after spending all this money, going to all the shops and the gift shops, and I'm like, you know what? I hate all your IPs now because you're gouging, you're greedy, you're mismanaging the whole thing. And I'm not supposed to walk around feeling like that. It's no longer magical.
Well, I will say this, though. You're 100% right in the fact that it does feel gross and crass and commercialized. But I will say that Disneyland of 2026 compared to Disneyland of maybe 2000 it's a better shopping experience, because back in the 2000s, this was kind of at the height of the Disney store, everything became very homogenous. So you could walk into a store on Critter Country, you could walk into a store on Main Street, you could walk into a store in Fantasyland, and they'd all have the same t-shirts and sweatshirts and merchandise. Now, if you go to those different locations, you at least are getting theme specific things for that. So I as a Haunted Mansion collector, it literally was years before there were any, like, even something like a little plastic figurine or
that's true.
T-shirts.
That's true.
It was a long wait. Like the 2000s was a really dry spell for if you were a fan of those rides, let alone if you were a fan of something like Mr. Toad's Wild Ride or the Country Bear Jamboree or something that was more obtuse.
Or Scott, it took Disney a while to figure out, hey, this Nightmare Before Christmas, there's a big cult following. Now, now you have, for 3 months out of the year, they decorate the Haunted Mansion.
No, Larry, you're wrong there. It's almost 6 months out of the year. It's shameful.
Okay, I stand corrected.
It's like,
6.
It started in end of August of last year, and I almost
why so long? Like, so
because they make money off of it.
Yeah, that's a change I wonder if Walt would have liked, because hey, if you do it for like a week around Halloween, fine, but for half the year,
you can't do a week.
A month, maybe.
I fervently dislike it.
A month and a half.
Not because it is bad or anything, but it's because I want to go to the Haunted Mansion, which is the world's best haunted house at a theme park. On Halloween, and I cannot do that anymore, because now it's like walking into Walmart when they put up all the Christmas decorations, in October.
Yes,
it's like I don't want it to be, as much as people say, well, Nightmare Before Christmas, it's a Halloween movie. Bullshit. That movie starts when Halloween's over. It's really a Thanksgiving movie, but it's a Christmas movie, right? And so I said I'd have no problem with it if they started it on November 1st, but because it keeps getting further and further and further back into the fall.
Why don't they just make a separate? Why don't they just make a separate attraction for just that, and leave the Haunted Mansion alone, pure the whole year round?
Yep.
Let's look at it.
I'm surprised, Larry, that you're defending it.
Well, I was going to say, look at it from a Disney I'm trying to look at it.
I don't care. I don't want to look at it from the Disney executive's point of view.
Sean.
I don't care about them.
Okay. I love the movie Night Before Christmas. I love it, but I want the Haunted Mansion. You're right, Scott. On Halloween season, it should be the Haunted Mansion 100%.
Thank you.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, you get to throw in a little spicy life of throwing Nightmare Before Christmas stuff in there. I didn't know, Scott, it's 6 months. And I'm curious if it's really 6 months.
Well, I went last weekend. I don't know if it's
an exaggeration.
I went last weekend, which was the last weekend in January. So the 25th I went, and that was the first day it was back to normal. It changed over, if I'm not mistaken, August 16th of 2025.
Wow.
So from August to end of January, it was Christmas themed.
Well, it's also the Nightmare Before Christmas IP. You know,
Sure.
it's like you've got
Exactly.
a lot of the younger generation now. They're into those characters. They're into that movie, and
Yeah.
so as you walk around the parks, you can kind of see the executive thinking, like, oh well,
Sure.
the kids aren't going to be into this if they don't see characters they recognize or like. That's why, to me, it's almost a miracle that Mr. Toad is still even there. It's like nobody remembers. It's like I barely remember that, right?
Yeah.
Well, all those rides, James, the Peter Pan and Mr. Toad are actually, so this was something I learned when I was working on my project. Those attractions are grandfathered in because of
Yes.
the building code. And when we were going to, so the technology that we installed was literally like a box about like the size of a bread box. And the management at Disneyland, they were panicked when they heard we were going to put something in because they're like, look, if we changed Peter Pan ride like more than 30% of what it originally was, we're going to have to tear it down. Because right now it's grandfathered in for building
Oh,
Interesting.
interesting.
so
well,
Toad,
that's good.
Toad, Alice, and Peter Pan are in that triangle in that corner of the castle, and those things they've made changes to them, but you'll notice that the changes are more like projections and
Yeah, they're
kind of
subtle.
minor. Yeah, they're
Right.
not big changes, and so that's the reason why.
If we're gonna do this Disney bitch fest here,
Yeah.
Sign me up.
I think one of the worst rides maybe ever in Disneyland is the one that replaced the submarine ride, and that's that
Yeah.
shitty Finding Nemo.
Oh.
Yep.
That thing
Projection.
is so horrible.
What is that again? I don't even know.
You know what it is? It's like, hey, let's watch a 5-minute movie underwater.
Yeah.
Cartoon.
Yeah.
From footage that already exists.
Exactly.
That's from the movie.
Weird.
And sit in the most uncomfortable theater seat you've ever sat in.
Exactly. Right.
Matt,
right.
Matt, I'm just going to go out on a limb here. Look, there are a lot of kids who love Finding Nemo. I like Finding Nemo.
And they're wrong. And you're wrong too.
No, it's a lovely film. It's a lovely film.
It's delightful.
Finding Dory.
You know
They
what?
are.
Ellen
And-
DeGeneres.
no.
When I think of kind-hearted,
Okay.
heartwarming family entertainment, I think of
Yeah.
Ellen DeGeneres.
Look, let me just say, Matt, if they would have taken it and instead of having little screens, how about little animated fish?
Thank
That would've
you.
been- yes.
would
Yeah,
love to
really.
see
Seems like a
Finding
no-brainer.
Dory.
That would have been better. That I
Yeah,
would have
yeah.
been on board for. I'm not a Winnie the Pooh guy, but I did kind of like the ride.
That was a
Because-
fun ride.
It was there were
Cute.
sets
And
and
it's
there
old
were
school.
animatronic
Yeah.
people.
It's the
and
old school. Yeah, the old school aspect of it is what makes it cool.
Also, the Little Mermaid ride, it's what you would expect. As you go
Yes.
through on your shell, you've got the little animatronic figures. Granted, they're simple. They're simple, but they're moving, but the colors and just the music, it's so great.
They're charming.
Create the atmosphere.
is really elaborate, but it's like it's a lovely, lovely ride.
Yeah.
And I agree with you, Matt. I think the Finding Nemo submarine thing, it's a bit of a letdown to me. But I guess if you're a little kid and you like those movies, I guess it's exciting.
Well, that's part of the experience now. We're of the age where we can remember all of the old movies and the matinees and those characters. You go to the Disney parks now, and there's a big difference between Disneyland and California Adventure because California Adventure is more skewed toward Pixar and the more recent IPs, Brave, Moana, than Disneyland, which is more of the older 50s, 60s
Classics,
movies.
And they should have done that from the start, James. Like, remember there were, 10, 15 years of it being California themed.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then they finally wised up and said, oh, wait, nobody cares about this.
No.
Let's put in our Pixar franchise.
But for me, I mean, I don't have a kid. I didn't see Inside Out. I don't know those characters. I'm not saying that it's wrong for those characters to be walking around California Adventure. It's just harder for me to relate because I'm not familiar.
Right.
That's better though than the way that it started. Hey, Californians, experience California.
That was so strange to
In
me. I remember when we
California.
first went to that. I was like, wasn't there a thing where like you ride over mountains, like in a simulated?
Mulholland
No,
Drive.
that is a nice ride, though.
But that,
It's
but it was
soaring.
just so strange, though. Like, I mean, I
Soaring,
didn't
I
like it.
did
It was
like,
kind of
yeah.
cool, but you're right. The whole concept of California Adventure is from the start. Like, What?
Yeah.
Seems like the weirdest approach to decide
Let's
to
go
do
to
that.
Bakersfield
Well,
land.
doesn't it seem
The
a little
Burbank ride.
Sean, doesn't it seem a little arrogant and
Modesto
pretentious?
world.
It's like you have the money to fly from Iowa to California to go to Disneyland, to go to California
Yeah.
Adventure, but heaven forbid you drive up north to San Francisco or drive a little further south.
Yeah,
to
where
San
was that
Diego.
land?
To see a real, right?
Yeah, but
That's
I'm
weird.
Where's the animatronic Castro?
Hey, Scott, back me up here. Walt Disney himself always felt that Disneyland would never be finished.
It's a
It would
blessing and a
always-
curse, Larry.
What?
Yeah.
It's a
Yeah.
blessing and a curse.
It's like the Winchester House.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Some things work and
Yeah.
some things don't.
Sure. Yeah. And the good news is that the stuff that doesn't work gets phased out and they try other things.
Yeah.
The bad news is sometimes the stuff they have doesn't work and they just sit there, like when they got rid of the people mover and then put in the rocket rods and those didn't work.
I
And then
like
they
the
took those
people
out
mover.
and now you have rotting concrete.
Yes,
in
rotting concrete.
Tomorrowland, and Tomorrowland
Yeah.
looks like 1960s land, not the future.
You're right.
That's not
Mid-century
so
land.
bad. It's kind of 1960s land. It's kind of cool. I just think they should bring the people mover back.
Well,
And-
they can't.
and
though.
That'll bring the
Journey
goods in.
to inner space.
Inner space.
Bring
I will,
that back.
Right,
Scott,
but they-
call someone to bring
I don't work
that
there
back.
anymore.
No, look, you're influential. You know people at Disney.
I do know people at Disney, but I,
used to
don't know
love
the
those-
right people.
Those baskets that go all
The
through the
Skyway,
park.
yeah.
Well, we
Yeah.
couldn't do
Yeah.
that
And-
now, though.
No,
You
yeah.
That would
They-
just be a
know.
They filled up the hole in the Matterhorn. It would all the baskets would just thump
That's
against
right.
it.
I don't mind them getting rid of that because then
Oh,
No, they'd
that
be
was the best.
throwing. People would be throwing.
And
No
it's
one has
yeah.
any self control anymore.
All right, raise your
Yeah.
hand. How many of you spit off of the Skyway bucket when you were a kid?
I never did.
I know. I never did either. I was a good boy like you, Larry.
But look, it's very carny. Like when you go to the
To the-
Santa Cruz Beach Boardwalk, they have
Yeah,
those there.
Right.
Yeah.
To me, Disneyland it's a step up.
Sure.
It's classy.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
they didn't
In the
need those
Pirates of
buttons.
the Caribbean ride, we were eating at the Blue Bayou restaurant. I was with my parents,
Mm.
and all of a sudden, from one of the boats, we get a coin thrown at us, and it goes ching, pa-ping, and hits a glass and whizzes past my 80-year-old
Wow.
father's head. And I'm like,
Wow.
what the fuck?
And did you
There are
keep it?
real pirates here. And
yeah,
Matt,
right.
finish the story.
But I have to hand it to Disneyland, the staff there, because what happened was immediately those people were apprehended. Like,
Wow.
I think before the ride was even done, they got through cameras a
There are
shot of
cameras
these
everywhere.
guys, got them
Wow.
off the ride. They were out of the park. By the time we went to our waitress and said, "Hey, I think we just got a quarter," the woman's just like, "Yeah, those people we caught them and they're out."
Did
Wow.
they send the stormtroopers from the Star Wars section to get them?
That would have been good.
Sent them to the Disney jail.
But that's
Wow.
another good thing. Speaking of Disney, is that I love the fact that they listened to the people and now they're going to turn that Star Wars land into classic Star Wars.
Yep.
Yeah,
Original trilogy.
That's a
Oh,
win.
really? Are they really?
that is
Yeah.
a win.
Like in what way? Like just
Well,
going to replace
half-
some of the.
No, they're
like-
going to half and half it. So the town, the little Batu town.
Yeah, yeah.
So from the Imperial base all the way to when you exit, where they cook the Ronto meat, that's all original trilogy. So you're gonna now have character meet and greets with not only they've had Boba Fett and the Mandalorian and Chewbacca, yeah, for since almost not since the beginning, but for a long time now. But they're gonna add in Luke Skywalker and R2-D2 and Han
Really?
Solo
Oh, that's
and
good.
Princess
That's
Leia.
cool.
And then the other side, where the Rise of the Resistance ride is, that's still going to be where you can meet Rey and
Kylo Ren and
Kylo Ren and guys like that.
Okay, well, that's
That's a
cool.
good
That's
idea.
cool.
I like that
that.
idea.
That's good.
Great.
That's
Yeah.
very
No,
cool.
great news.
Cool.
Yeah, very good. And they're going to do little tweaks to stuff to make it feel a little bit more like of the era. So the
Good.
cantina is going through a little bit of a
Oh, good.
change. You know,
Nice.
Jabba slave auction?
that's
See, now, can you
Blue sky,
imagine?
Matt,
Can
blue
you
sky.
imagine how many people would want to go to that? I want to go to like the Jabba the Hutt throne room, and then you could see he's got the chain there. You got a Princess Leia and her slave.
what
outfit.
Comic-Con's for, Larry.
Exactly.
And as we know from Shag, Slave Leia has been canceled by
Has been
Disney.
canceled.
Yes,
Yes.
That's right.
That is
That's
true.
right.
That is
They're
Too
still.
bad.
It's funny because the fan base is still trying to figure out what to call her.
She's not canceled in my eyes.
No, well, they've been calling her Hut Slayer Leia is the current.
Oh, I see. It's very
Oh.
proactive. I got it.
Empowerment.
Okay.
Exactly.
Let's just say that I applaud Disney for trying to clean up some of the stuff that's, maybe a little questionable. Like my understanding, I heard today, in fact, I think the movie Peter Pan is being removed from Disney Plus. Did you guys hear this?
Because of the
No,
Indian
what?
stuff.
After years
Oh,
and
really?
years, because look, Peter Pan was made, I forget the year, 54, 55.
Yeah, 53, 54.
53.
something
Okay, so there's a little racy stuff with the Indians, or the Indians are little like grossly
Native Americans.
exaggerated.
Yeah,
There's
yeah.
a song, "What Makes the Red Man Red." It's not really appropriate
Zippity
now.
doo dah.
No.
That's okay. That ride. Okay, Sean,
That I
let me
get.
do my thought here first.
The Song of
okay?
the South ride.
Yes, well,
Be a
look,
slave.
We
But it was-
we had it.
And that was changed to Tiana's Bayou, and it's lovely. It's lovely. I applaud that. But
Okay.
the Peter Pan
These
ride,
are all fine with me.
look, the Peter Pan ride still exists, but they did alter the Indians, the section with the Indians.
Yeah, the ones
they
in
do?
Florida. I don't know if they've done California yet. but-
Okay.
What'd
Well,
they
I
do?
thought they took out. There was some dancing Indians, and now it's just Tiger Lily dancing with Peter Pan.
Well,
And she
the ones that I saw some images, and again, I think this is in Orlando, that they remodeled the Native Americans to look more culturally accurate rather
Good.
than the
Okay.
stereotypes that are from
Okay,
the
okay.
cartoon.
All right.
good. I'm glad.
No,
Yeah.
I'm fine with that.
And
go
also,
with the times.
this, and with the small world, they added. James, you know about this? The new chorus. They added a new chorus that was done by one of the Sherman brothers before
They
he
did?
passed away. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, before he passed, it was like his last thing. I think he did. They added a new verse to the "It's a Small World" song, which is really nice.
Well, that's cool.
It is nice.
Yeah.
James, how do you feel about how the Greek people are represented in It's a Small World?
I don't think they're represented enough. I think you actually need a whole
You've
new
answered my
group.
question.
But James, come on, James. There are Greek kids in that ride.
You blink and you miss them, but I will say that at the very end when they say, come back,
Yeah.
thanks for one of those messages is written in Greek,
In
so
Greek.
I will give them that.
Oh, well, there's
cool.
that. Okay, all right.
Well,
cool.
the real miss, in my opinion, is that they never did the Hercules ride. They should have done that, right?
yeah.
Because that would have got your Greeks in there, right?
That's true.
Oh, yeah.
Where's the
Yeah.
Frozen ride? Where's the Frozen ride?
Japan.
Like,
It's in
yeah,
Japan.
I know, and it looks amazing.
Yeah.
That ride should be in.
It's also
Anaheim.
in Epcot in the World Showcase.
Well,
Ah.
Scott, can't
They
you make
kicked
a
out
call?
all the Vikings and they put in.
Oh,
Elsa.
see, I love the
Right.
Vikings.
No,
That ride was
Scott,
great.
It's not.
It
It
the
was
same.
great, right?
Yeah, it was. It was.
Yes.
Well, not
Yeah.
only that, but you used to be able to go right on it. Now with Frozen, you have to wait 3 hours.
Right.
right.
Did you go on that ride in Japan?
No, because I couldn't wait 3 hours.
It wasn't a 3-hour wait.
In
I let it
Japan,
go.
I bet it was.
You let it go.
I
Funny.
let it go. Yep.
Funny. Yeah. Yeah. I'm just saying, Scott, there are a couple IPs that Disney's kind of ignored and they were really, really popular.
Sure.
One is Frozen. They really need something, Frozen thing in Anaheim. And also a Tangled. They need a Tangled thing. there.
Tangled. Yeah.
Well,
yeah,
that's
yeah.
the rumor, Larry, is that they're going to do. It's a project called like Disney Forward or something like that, and it's it's essentially going to echo what they just put into Tokyo, which is Peter Pan, Tangled, and Frozen.
Wow.
Interesting.
And then
Okay.
Human Centipede. That's coming, right?
Right, yeah.
That's gonna be good.
No.
It's gonna be Terrifier. It's gonna be a good ride.
Yeah.
No.
No, in Tokyo, it's
Oh.
called Fantasy Springs, and it's
Right,
beautiful.
yeah.
They've done a beautiful job with it.
Wait a
I
minute.
hear
The
it's
Human
nice.
Centipede ride in Japan is called Fantasy Springs?
Hey, Scott, since you're in the know of Disney, just really quickly. So Disney they met with the city, and the city is allowing them to do this massive, massive expansion.
Sure.
And do you know anything about what that is?
Yeah, they're making a gigantic Portos right in the middle of downtown Disney.
Is that a joke?
No, I'm serious. It's like a 2-story Portos bakery and restaurant.
I'm there. I love
this is
Portos.
fantastic. I can eat cheese balls and
Oh
go
my
on the Peter Pan ride.
God.
Wow.
Did you ever have the Cuban pork plate?
Isn't-
Oh my
Isn't there
God.
something about like a superhero land or a villain's land?
So
or
they're plussing up the Marvel.
oh, now you're coming. Oh, great. Okay.
Yeah, they're adding the Avengers ride, which is like the Avengers versus King Thanos,
That
and
could be fun.
Yeah, there you go.
it's-
I'm sure.
I'm not
Hopefully.
sure what type of ride it is.
Yeah, yeah.
I'll bet it's a
depends.
lot of screens.
It is a lot of screens.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
But there's no. I don't know whether you have to actually shoot something or not, like some of the other rides.
Yeah, I don't want to do that either. I don't like rides where I need to be part of it. Like I want it to happen
Just
to me.
experience.
I don't want to. I don't need to fly the Millennium Falcon. All right, I just want to.
Well,
could
I
someone
enjoy- that's
drive
pretty
for
cool.
me?
Speaking
I don't
of the
like to
Millennium
drive my
Falcon,
own car. Okay.
Speaking of the Millennium Falcon, they are changing the narrative of that, and they're now adding the Mandalorian and Grogu in time for his movie for this year. They're going to have a new adventure where you can help them in some capacity. Nobody knows what the story
It
is.
might be
but,
See,
cool.
I don't want to.
Might
I
be
don't.
cool.
I don't want to help them.
See,
I don't want to have a.
Yeah.
I don't want to have a crew.
I want to
that have
interact.
deal
When
with.
it comes to Star Wars, I want to interact completely with all the
Yeah,
characters
why not,
and everything.
right?
No, I'm with Matt. I want like Haunted Mansion. I just want to sit there and
Yeah,
have
for
it
that,
happen.
sure.
Thank you.
Or
Thank you,
Pirates
Larry.
of the Caribbean. It happens around you. I don't want to
Yes.
have to. I've heard. I thought I heard someone. Okay, when you sit in that Millennium Falcon, oh, you are the pilot, or you're the navigator,
Yes.
or whatever.
Right.
And then
Yes.
it puts this added pressure on you. Oh shit,
Yes.
I got to do this. I don't
That's
want to do
cool.
that.
It is
It's
cool.
exciting.
Have you
No,
flown the
no.
Millennium Falcon, Larry?
I don't need to fly the Millennium Falcon, sir.
I'm surprised.
Tell me-
Larry,
tell me
it's
what this-
awesome.
What kind of smuggler are you, Larry?
It made
Yeah,
the
it's
Kessel Run
awesome.
in less than 12 parsecs.
That's
Yeah.
Look,
Tell me if
It's
this
awesome.
is true, though. Tell me if this is true. Part of that ride is that you're working with two other people,
Yeah,
and
four.
if you don't,
Five other people.
or
It
five
depends.
other people,
It depends. Yeah, it depends on the
And if-
capacity.
okay, but let's say you're working with five other people or four other people, and I also heard that what your adventure is or how long it goes depends on how well you work together.
No,
and
that's
like
not
you
true.
know,
No,
it's not true. Okay,
No,
It's
Gene
all
and I
the
went on
same,
it several
like, it's
times.
it's the
We
same
went there,
ride for everybody.
And one time we
Kind
went,
of.
it was just us. It was just Gina and I in there and doing it. It was great.
There's additional narrative paths that open up depending on how fast you accomplish the activities in the game.
Yeah.
No,
But,
see,
no.
Scott,
the,
here's what's
but
going to
the
happen.
ride itself is the same length. regardless.
Here's what's going to happen. Matt and I, we're gonna go on the ride. Listen, no, we go on the ride, and then we're gonna get paired up with three people that we don't know.
Right.
And
Yep.
then here's what's
Three
gonna happen.
clowns.
No, that's what's gonna happen.
Right,
It'll be
right.
some little kid. It'll be some
Yep.
little kid driving it, and I'm gonna yell at him. I'm gonna go.
You are,
"What-
of course.
Are you an idiot?
Yes.
And then
Right.
he's going, that man yelled at me on the ride.
Yeah.
It's gonna.
Then you'll
Matt?
get thrown out of Disneyland.
Larry, all you have to do is just push that kid out of the way and get into that seat yourself.
Oh.
So that way you pilot the Millennium Falcon and not
Oh,
some
right.
five-year-old.
thanks, Scott. Hey, I'm at Disneyland. Let me push a child out of the way.
Come on, Larry. You've done it
You think I'm
before.
a
We know you
monster?
have.
That
not
should
a
be a
monster,
separate ride.
Scott.
The pushing children should be a separate ride.
Hey,
That ride,
God,
though, that ride, the Millennium Falcon ride, I cannot go on because it's motion simulation.
That's a motion
I get
thing,
sick.
right? Yeah.
It's
And
right.
this is something else I think that Walt might not have approved of, is that most of those experiences were supposed to be for just about everybody. It was supposed to be inclusive. There's so many rides now with this motion simulation technology that motion sick prone people just can't take. And the more and more that these theme parks rely on these rides, it's like there's less for people
I-
in my
Well,
state.
I can't do the Harry Potter ride. It makes me want to throw up.
It's
I
a,
can't-
first of all,
It
it's
is an
a
intense ride. It is really
It is
intense.
intense,
But
yes.
it's a great. It is
And-
great though. I do.
and
think
It is
that.
great, but I
if
can't do it.
I can't take it.
James, are you saying that, oh, there's too much motion in it, so let's never make any of these motion rides for people?
Yes, you're
Is that what
100% right, Larry.
Yes, because they exclude people who are prone to motion sickness.
I want a ride that goes at 3 miles an hour past some gorgeous characters and a catchy earworm of a song.
Yes.
Hey, you know, Scott, not
I
every-
want both. I want
look,
both.
Look,
Yeah,
Scott,
me too.
Do you see a roller coaster? Oh, I don't want to go on that roller coaster. That's too high. That's too
I have
scary
never
for
been
me."
on the Incredicoaster because I cannot do loops because I had vertigo once, and I'm worried about it activating again.
So do you think that, people go, well, we can't make a roller coaster because there's some people out there who suffer from vertigo. So they don't go on it.
Yeah, and they talk like that too, which is really weird.
Yeah, it is.
No, but you could have look. I will never go to Six Flags because I can't take roller coasters, but I still want to go.
There's
to
a lot of
Disneyland.
other reasons to not go to Six Flags, but go ahead.
But it pisses me off. It's like, okay, Universal. So many of those rides at Universal are motion simulation. Too many of them, in my opinion, are at the Disney parks too. I'm speaking for people who cannot take those rides because they will make them violently ill for hours.
Yeah.
It's not just like you come off and you throw up. I came out of the Back to the Future ride.
Well, that one I agree with.
That was
That one's notorious
ride.
though. That one is
Yeah,
bad.
that's true.
A little kid died on that from a brain embolism.
Yep.
Really?
I mean,
Oh,
the
he
thing
was
was
ill.
horrible.
Okay, he was ill.
I
He
can't go on
shouldn't have
Star
gone there in the
Tours.
first place.
Even Star Tours.
Even
There's
Star
no
Tours.
way.
Star Tours
yeah.
was kind of but I still like Star Tours.
I still like Star Tours, but
You
once in
guys
a
are
blue
lucky you
moon,
can take
it
those
gets me.
rides. I'm telling you.
Yeah, yeah.
You're getting more of your money's
Maybe
worth.
nowadays, yes, less and less.
As you
but
get older
still.
and older, though, I find myself a little more prone to that stuff. You know?
Yeah,
So-
yeah.
James, what if we just showed you Star Wars and put you in a chair and then just rocked your chair?
No. I have the solution, Matt. I have the solution.
Go ahead.
So in my collection, I have a lovely, probably overpriced model of the Star Tours ship that I can put all my action figures in.
I
and
got one too.
and it plays the entire movie of the ride. So James, you can come over. You can play with my Star Tours Star Cruiser
While sitting in a comfortable chair.
Well, we have to get James down to about 3 3/4 inch top high. But
No, I got this. This is great. So what we'll do is instead of the motion chair, we'll give you a nice massage chair.
There you go.
Yeah, right.
You know, and you're
Well,
like,
the funny thing is, so before I worked at Imagineering, I got invited to give a lecture, and after the talk, they gave me a tour, and this was when they were still building Radiator Springs Racer, the big car ride in Cars Land, and I rode that ride in a rolling chair. They put me in front of like this giant bank of screens, and the guy was running, and he was like tilting the chair and making it feel like I was going into and it was fantastic. I mean, and then when I like 2 years later, I rode that ride, and I'm like, yep, this is exactly what I rode, except for there wasn't somebody moving the chair behind me.
Wow.
I will
had to
do
wait
that
3
for
hours.
you, James. I will do that.
Well, Matt, we were just in Japan and we went way out to the middle of bumfuck nowhere so we could go on our Godzilla ride. A
Yes, we
ride that
did,
you
yes.
guys went on twice, and I had to sit in the lobby because it was
I
motion
know.
simulation.
I know it made me so sad, and it's a great ride too. But it's and when we were riding on it, I was wondering because I don't know exactly how sensitive you are to this kind of stuff,
Very.
but so yeah, you might have had a problem. But
Yeah.
Did
I
you do the
figure,
zip line, James?
A zip line I could do, but we weren't
You
at that
could do that?
park. I could do a
Wow.
zip line, yeah, because that's actually
okay.
you're moving. You're actually moving. You're not being jerked back as if you're moving.
Right.
That's what makes me sick.
Right, right.
How about the teacups? How does that affect?
Nope.
No.
Can't do, I
Never do
did it
those.
when I
No,
was
couldn't do
7, and,
those.
and that was
Yeah.
like, I'll never do this
Never
again.
like
But
those.
Okay. Yeah.
at least
Did you ever do
look
bumper
at-
cars?
bumper cars I can do.
Okay.
Yeah.
Although they're not a great time anyway. So
No, not really.
Yeah,
Not
it's
really.
limited.
Yeah.
Well, guys, this has been great, though. Loads
It
of
has
fun
been.
stuff. I had no idea
This
where
was
we
a
were gonna
good,
go.
free-flowing anything
Yes.
goes episode,
lot
and we
of
found peace.
And we did find peace. I
Wait,
feel
did
we
we?
did.
Did
Yes.
We did.
Yeah.
Well, I
through-
feel
through-
better now that I've
Yeah.
vented.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Peace of
Yeah,
mind, maybe.
Yes.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Or a piece of my mind.
That's right. That's right.
Scott, you're so great with this, and we have to
Yeah.
get you on for another one of these and
Yeah,
get
yeah.
another
You
themed
got-
episode.
Anytime, guys. Anytime.
So, Scott, is there anything you're working on right now that our listeners can check out?
Well, so for the past 10 years or so, I've been making board games and writing about them, and I have some books about video game design as well. Probably the most recent projects is a book about designing your own tabletop board games called Your Turn: The Guide to Great Tabletop Game Design. You can find that at Amazon or anywhere books are sold. I have a couple of board games that I still get nice royalty checks from. So if you want to purchase either Alien: Fate of the Nostromo by Ravensburger Games or the Texas Chainsaw Massacre board game by Trick or Treat Studios,
Nice.
those are two of the titles that I've designed. I have two games that I created as kind of short run games. There were very limited copies of them. The first one is a kaiju themed economic game called Oh No, There Goes Tokyo. And
Nice.
the original run of the game sold out, but I will give you a little hint that it will be hopefully showing up in another form in the future. So keep your eye
Great.
out for that.
Nice.
And I just finished a game that was about Hollywood stunt people called I Do My Own Stunts. And that
Cool.
one had a slightly bigger production run. I still have a few copies left of the game. So if you track me down on like Facebook or LinkedIn and reach out to me and say, hey, I want to learn more about this game and, you know, maybe even buy a copy, you can reach out to me and I'm happy to sell you one.
Awesome.
Nice.
Fantastic.
Well, Scott, thanks again. This has been so much fun. Guys, what do you guys
Yeah.
say? What do you say we raise our glasses and give a toast
Yes.
to Scott
Yes.
Rogers and to Anything Goes? The quest for peace.
Hey, peace and anything.
Peace out.
Time for a listener shout out.
Shout out. Whatever shout out you want to do. Just anything.
Anything you can shout out.
Sean, take it away.
All right, guys. Guess what? We have some more gifts.
Ooh.
Gifts. I love
Wonderful,
gifts.
wonderful nerd gifts given to us by a listener. And this is by our longtime good friend and listener, Mark Rem.
Mark.
Mark Rem.
Thank you, Mark.
Mark Rem sent us a gift for each of us, the same gift. And you won't believe what this is. And it's funny because we just kind of mentioned this character on this show. He sent us each a Star Wars Black Series figure of Zaxxon, the rabbit, the green
Oh my
rabbit.
God.
Wow.
Look at this thing. This is a beautiful
Oh
figure
my
of
God.
Zaxxon. This is a little note he wrote to all of us. Greetings, Monster Party. I hope this card finds you in excellent health and spirits as we enter 2026. I've included the Hasbro Star Wars Black Series rendition of Zaxxon, that's Jaxxon, a 6-foot-tall green rabbit. Zaxxon first appeared in the November 1977 Marvel Comic Star Wars issue, number 8, a full year before the Star Wars Holiday Special.
Yeah.
I
Wow.
recall my big brother brought home this comic book back in the day. I disliked Zaxxon, who was akin to a Looney Tunes character who had been dipped in a vat of green ink
Yeah.
and dressed up in a orange jumpsuit.
Yeah.
Like a young Larry Stroh viewing Groovy Ghoulies, I was put off by the silliness and stopped reading the Star Wars comic books. I was surprised many decades later to find this figure when it was announced and to find out that Zaxxon made a couple additional appearances in Star Wars comics over the years. In an odd way, seeing him in this form and considering the carefully curated image Star Wars had over the years, I now appreciate and embrace the wackiness of his design. Plus, Zaxxon identifies himself as your basic Lepus carnivorous, a meat-eating, rocket-riding rabbit. Could a Star Wars Knight of the Lepus carnivorous be in the future?
Yeah.
Yes.
I just want to say to Mark, first of all, thank you. But
Mark, yes.
like you, when I saw that comic book episode, that killed the comic book. for me.
Really? Really?
Yes.
But now-
My
well,
mom
look at-
got it
look
for
at
me.
this,
That was
like-
the last one I got. I want, this is stupid. It's a green rabbit. That's
Now,
dumb.
But now
I'll
look at the detail. Like it's awesome figure.
Well,
it's
now that I
gorgeous.
have my
and
own
we
action
each
figure.
got one. The
Now,
accessories.
Mark, I'll take Larry's as well.
No,
Just in
mine.
case.
And hey guys, and Mark got one for Stephanie as well.
Oh.
Yes. So,
what a
Mark, as
guy.
always, thank you so
Thank
much.
you, Mark.
So,
You're-
guys,
you're
I'll,
too
I'll be
good to
getting
us.
these to you soon. But
Oh, that's
it's
so
amazing.
nice.
He dropped
He
these
gives
off
the
at our
best
house.
gifts.
He
does.
does.
He really does.
I mean, I now have a Zaxxon figure. Come on, I mean that's pretty amazing.
See, I thought that Scott kept saying Jackson.
Yeah, well, it sounds like
yeah.
Zax. I mean, I think it's pronounced Jackson. I guess
Is it?
Jaxxon, Jackson. I don't know. Yeah, but anyway,
Jackson,
Because
Mark,
Jacks
amazing.
off.
I hope
Yeah,
I hope
yeah.
you come to Monster Palooza because we're gonna give
Yeah,
you a big
yeah.
hug,
If you,
man.
yeah,
Yes.
Tell ya.
or
Thank you
at Comic
so
Con
much.
too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But thank you so
Yeah,
much, Mark.
I'm buying
as
them
always.
drinks.
Thank you.
Yeah, you really went above and beyond. So thank you
The
so
greatest.
much.
You're the greatest.
And speaking of the greatest, if you want to find the greatest podcast merch, well, that would be Monster Party merch. And where would you find it? On our eBay store, which is called Monster Party Store. Yes, we have Monster Party t-shirts. We have Monster Party shot glasses. We have the legendary Monster Party baseball cap. We have the Monster Party PPE cloth mask. And if you purchase Monster Party merch from our eBay store, we will throw in free surprise goodies if you happen to be a Patreon member. Yes,
Yes.
free surprise goodies courtesy of our good friends Jason Lindsay of Biff Bang Pow Toys and foam fabber extraordinaire Ted Haynes.
Two men who I had to remind in a steam room that not everything goes. You know what you did.
And again, Monster Partiers, if you want awesome designs made by Monster Party and featuring the Monster Party logo, go to TeePublic, where we have our own store there. You can buy amazing shirts, tote bags, everything you could possibly want. with the Monster Party logo and our
Cheese
cool
graters,
design.
anything.
Yeah, I mean, I'm serious. Check it out. If you like our podcast, I mean, you'll find just cool designs of us, as monsters, and as it's just really cool. Check it out. We got Bissell, we got Jenny Agutter, we got everything.
Ooh.
Check it out.
Oh.
tpublic.com. Use your Monster Party podcast. Go there and buy some stuff, and they always have sales. So check it out.
So this Patreon thing. I mean, guys, anything goes. We've been all over the map. And
Sure.
Anything goes,
questing for
including
peace.
your memory.
You cannot expect me to remember what this Patreon thing is all about. Can you please refresh my memory?
Okay. Where in this episode, everything goes, on the Patreon site, the only thing that goes is Monster Party bonus content. And oh my me, does it go. In fact, it goes so hard, it's gone, but not gone from Patreon. It's like Schrodinger's cat. It's there and gone at the same time. Got it? Okay. Now that I've completely cleared that up, what Monster Party bonus content does Patreon have to offer? Well, we're talking stuff like our special audio episodes, shows like Monster Party Masterpieces, Monster Party on the Road, and the mega popular Toy Time series. We also have our legendary Japan trip video diary, behind-the-scenes convention footage, and vintage sci-fi and horror fiction edited by our resident Lyscarian, John Bordeaux, and more.
Well, Matt, that sounds fantastic. But I got to say, I'm working on refinancing my mortgage just to be able to afford a ticket to Disneyland. So I don't know if I can. I don't know if I can indulge in this bounty. How much does it cost?
Okay, so for the price you would pay to have your Disneyland Finding Nemo merch destroyed, you could become a Monster Party patron. And that price is $5. $5 a month.
Wow.
That's pretty good. You can't get a customized Mego style action figure of a naked Dr. Zaius in a steam room bath towel for that price.
Once again, now I have to have it.
Wow. Well, Matt, that is an e-ticket I cannot pass up. How do I join?
Well, all you have to do is you go to patreon.com, you go to Monster Party, you click join, you follow the instructions, and the next thing you know, you'll be as happy as me on the 4th day of Jenny Agutter Con.
And speaking of the quest for peace, we are on social media. You can find us on Facebook and YouTube at Monster Party TV, on Twitter and Instagram and Blue Sky at Monster Party HQ. And wherever you're listening to us, please write a review. We would love to hear from you, and we will read your review on the air.
Yes, we'll read your review, and whatever you say in it goes, but if it's a bad review, it goes down the toilet.
And on the subject of YouTube, I want to remind our listeners to check out our YouTube channel. Again, it's Monster Party TV on YouTube. And we just recently posted a new video of our visit. Matt and Larry and I, unfortunately, Sean wasn't with us.
Yeah.
Aww.
Sorry, Sean. We hit the Godzilla Fest convention in San Francisco last fall, and it was a ball.
Yeah.
It
We had a
was.
lot of fun, interviewed a lot of artists and
Oh my
vendors
Friends.
and friends. So there's definitely one you don't want to miss.
And also, there's Larry's Meal and a Movie.
Larry's Meal and
Check
Movie.
out,
That's right.
The start of a new Monster Party YouTube series,
That's right.
which has
And
gotten
you
some rave
learned
reviews.
something, yeah.
So
Yeah.
Delicious.
a lot of fun.
Yeah.
I got an idea for that one too.
So do I. So do
And
I.
yeah,
So do I.
and it rhymes with Bleg salad. On that note, I am Matt Weinhold.
I am Shawn Sheridan.
I'm Larry Stroth.
And I'm James Gonis.
Keep America strong.
And in your quest for peace, remember anything goes.
Including a poo-stained Batman collectible. No!
Sean, what was the name of Mandy Patinkin's character in Yentl?
And don't pretend like you don't know. You watched it today, Sean.
What?
What
See,
was the
don't play
name?
that.
What was the name of the character that Mandy Patinkin played in Yentl?
Why would
It's on
I
the
know that?
Well, because you know lots of things.
Sean, come on. It's your
Barbara
favorite film.
Not Barbara Streisand movies, for God's sake.
You have it on Talking Viewmaster. I know that you know this.
And Sean, surely.
And why are we asking that question?
Well, surely
Isn't it
you have
obvious?
seen. There are some great Barbara Streisand movies, though.
It's a long story.
I do enjoy What's Up, Doc?
Yeah, What's Up, Doc is funny.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Funny
And-
girl, funny lady, funny girl.
So we have 5 minutes now to discuss what we were going to discuss.
Oh, sorry,
This is just quick. I just want to remind you guys.
you're all fired.
Everybody's fired, and it's just going to be me and Ken Daly.
Okay,
All right.
wait on.
Fine.
There's his handsome mug.
He looks so wise. Oh, there he is.
Hey,
God,
he does look
Rogers.
wise.
Slightly less wise now.
No. Don't say that, sir. Don't
Good
say.
to see
Hey,
you.
is that a green creature behind you on your shoulder, or is that a?
Imagine that. A
It
green
It
creature?
is a green character. Can you guys tell who he is?
Oh, is it from The Tick
It's a-
or something?
Batman?
Close. It is
Batman? Ambush Bug?
Ambush Bug. Yes.
Oh
There
well,
you go.
Matt wins.
Matt gets the point. Well,
He does.
Matt. I have,
Matt always
I
wins.
have personality profiles on all you guys, and I know that
Matt always
yeah.
wins.
Matt is the most DC centric.
Right, true. That's true.
I think this may be true. Yeah.
Oh, I thought you were saying Matt always wins.
No,
Yeah,
Matt
Matt
doesn't.
too.
No.
Matt wins.
We know that's not true.
Oh no!
We know
That's
we know who
true.
always wins, and his name is James Gonis.
Hey.
I was going to say the listeners, but that's fine.
Well, yeah, the listeners. That is true.
Or to quote Ace Hunter from Megaforce, the good guys always win, even in the 80s.
See, that's why he's on the show.
That's right.
Because
Was he
we need a
referring to the-
Megaforce quote
Yes,
every once in a
Megaforce
while.
quotes.
Was
Keep
he
us
referring
going.
to the temperature shooting out in Palm Desert? Right.
Oh,
Isn't that what it-
Yeah, in spandex.
Yes.
Right.
Does anyone still have spandex here?
Owning
I never had it in the
spandex?
first place.
Well, Larry,
Well,
Larry,
I have. Yeah.
Larry, just to let you know, I have 2 cosplay things that I am
Oh, yeah.
I am pretty close to confirming with myself. I'm going to unveil at San Diego Comic-Con, and
Oh,
one is
wow.
from Kamen Rider, a Shocker trooper with the with the skull mask,
Right,
and
right.
bodysuit,
Yes.
and then the other one is Ultra 7. Both of them
Ooh.
spandex.
Nice.
Wow.
And if I can, with the help of Zepbound and a girdle, I think we're there.
You know?
So
It
is
could work.
Carrie going as Baltan then?
Oh, I wish. Yeah. Just the hands.
Wait, is there a
Right.
sexy lady figure character in the Kamen Rider world?
No, there's
Well,
no
there's
sexy
well,
feminine.
wait a minute.
Wait, in Kamen Rider?
In Kamen Rider Stronger, the first female Kamen Rider
Oh,
was
cool.
Tackle. Her name was Tackle.
Ooh.
And you would think a guy would be named Tackle.
Because guys wanted to tackle her.
Yeah. There you go. See?
Wait, but is that a Japanese word, tackle, and it means something else? Like,
You know what? I have to go
strength
back and
with
I-
arms?
I-
or...
I have to go back and do my research, but and she's sexy, and so her thing is that she looks like kind of like a sexy ladybug,
Ooh.
Oh,
and
yeah.
we've all been waiting for that.
Yes.
I like
I have
ladybugs.
I have that miniature figure. Matt, does this mean that you're going to do one costume on one day and another on the other day?
It's quite possible.
Or you can wear
Wow.
both at once and rip open and then
Yeah.
reveal the other.
Oh, there
Hey,
you
man.
go.
Hey, you know what? That's really, really ambitious. Cut Matt some slack here. This is a big deal for him to dress up like this.
Yeah.
You know,
I was
Yeah.
going to
So-
say, I don't know about you guys, but I never, all the years I've been going to Comic-Con since the 70s, I had never cosplayed until last year. And because my daughter requested it. So
Right.
So my daughter has long COVID, so they have trouble getting around big conventions.
Sure,
And
sure.
so we'll use a wheelchair to get around San Diego.
Oh, okay.
Right.
And they said, I want to dress up like one of my favorite comic book characters, but you have to dress up with me. And I'm like, all right, who's the character? And she says, I want to dress up like Lori Lamaris, and you have to be Clark Kent. So,
Nice.
so I got, it's what I loved about it. It was one of the most low impact costumes I've ever worn. Essentially was, a Superman shirt, like under a white shirt.
Oh,
and
that's good.
And then unfortunately I have, I'm more like Lex Luthor than Clark Kent these days. So I had a wig on, and
okay.
shaved. And so, yeah, we went around as Clark Kent and Lori Lamaris one day.
Nice.
I'm
Was it
glad you
fun?
went with the
Oh.
wig and you didn't grease paint it on, because
Yeah, Sharpie
like Groucho.
Right.
or Homer Simpson.
Did you have fun, Scott? Was it fun?
I did, and it did make me want to do something a little more, let's say,
Elaborate.
yeah, elaborate or crowd attracting, I guess.
Oh,
Right,
okay.
right.
You know, because I've been around, I've had lots of friends that have cosplayed over the years at San Diego, and I have been there kind of helping fend off the crowds when they get, like, I had a group of friends one year that all dressed up like the Venture Brothers characters. This was
Oh, wow.
That's
like
cool.
within the first year of the show, and they were fantastic. There were at least like a dozen characters. And so I helped kind of usher them through the show to get to the
Oh, cool.
Cartoon Network booth. And it was great. It was really fun to see them having fun, but also seeing the fans really enjoying their cosplay.
Well,
Yeah.
James Gonis, he's a legend.
Yeah,
now
he's
at
the
Comic-Con.
Yeah.
cosplayer
Yeah.
of the gang.
You
right
know,
here.
once
Yeah.
you do it, I mean, you're addicted.
Right.
that's-
Yeah. Well, you had a great one last time I saw you, which was Luthen from Andor.
Thank you. Yeah, that was. But the
Yeah.
problem, the only problem with that costume is that it doesn't. That's not evergreen. You know, not everybody's going
Right,
to remember and/or
Sure.
that character. So it's like,
Yeah.
okay, you wear it in the moment, and then you
Right.
kind of retire it.
The other problem is when you cosplay as something when the character just debuts and you're so excited about it. So that happened to me one year at Halloween, and it was like 1980, I want to say 6 or 7 maybe, or 8, I don't know. But I went to a Halloween party as Rorschach, and nobody knew who I was at all.
Oh, really?
Yeah. It was a good costume, but
So it's either one way or the other. It's either no
Yeah,
one
yeah.
knows who you are, or there's 19 of them.
Right,
Right.
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 Well, you know, Scott,
Yeah,
what
and
I've
for a
noticed-
minute I thought you said Horseshack. And
Yes, yeah.
that would have been with the
Yeah,
green
we
jacket and
well, the four of us could go as the Sweat Hogs. We could try
Yeah.
that.
that's a good
There you go.
idea.
Let's do it.
That's a great
Oh, that's
idea.
awesome.
And then you have Gina or someone dress up like Mr. Kata.
Yeah,
Yeah.
she's got to be what's her face? The
Oh,
wife.
Marsha Strassman.
Right.
Yeah, Mrs. Carter. She is my Mrs. Carter. So,
Yeah, you devil.
Larry, what were you going to
Dog.
say? You were going to talk about some cosplaying.
No, move on.
All right.
Hey, Larry, are you planning on cosplaying again? Because Larry one day dusted off his Superman costume and put it on
That's
so
right.
he could
Yeah.
accompany James doing his Jor-El.
Jor-El, right.
Oh, awesome.
The one thing
Wow.
I noticed is when James convinced me to dress up, I didn't have a costume on that was so spectacular. There are some people that dress up in a costume and they look fantastic, and people will form a circle and will take pictures and stuff.
Right.
My Superman costume was just a regular one that you could get at the costume
Off
store.
the rack.
Off
Right.
the rack.
Right.
But what was fun was every once in a while, you would get someone would stop you and ask for a photo. It would be sporadic. And then
Right.
probably the best thing was when we went into the DC booth. I just wanted James to get some photos of me in front of the statues.
Yeah.
And then we had the DC publicity people came over and they filmed me and they talked to me. It was funny. It was,
And they had no
That
idea.
was a
It says
good night.
James was Jor-El,
yeah.
and they had no idea who he was.
They were too
Right.
young to know who I was.
Yeah, because the young publicity people in their 20s, like,
Right.
oh, who are you? Are you
This girl,
Mr. Winterman? Who
which
are you?
version-
no, this woman
were
who was
you-
part of the publicity department, but she was younger.
Yeah.
And
Right.
she's thinking, Henry Cavill as Superman.
Sure, right.
And
yeah.
so she looked at James and said, and you are, she had no
Are you
idea.
his
And I
minder?
just-
James, were you the Brando version? Or
Oh,
were
yeah.
you-
Oh, of
Oh,
course.
yeah.
It's
Okay.
got to be. Yeah.
I didn't know if you were going to wear the Flash Gordon jumpsuit from like the 1930s.
Yeah, right.
That's cool too. That'd be a good one. But see, that's it. If you, like Larry, are wearing maybe the store-bought costume, sure, alone, maybe it's like, okay, I've seen a lot of those. But if you do a group,
Yeah.
then suddenly it becomes something.
You got
Right.
impact.
Yeah, it becomes
And
a performance
the thing is,
art
though,
kind of.
engaging with everyone there, asking if people asking for your picture, they might ask you take a picture with their little kid. There's nothing like it. It's wonderful.
Yeah, it's great. It's really great.
Yeah, yeah.
Although I did have a fun Comic-Con one year so normally I'll try to take as many pictures of cosplayers as I can, but I noticed something very interesting, particularly at San Diego, which was there were lots of people, of course, wearing just T-shirts of superheroes, so a Green Lantern T-shirt or a Flash T-shirt or a Batman or a Spider-Man or whatever. So what I would do is I saw somebody wearing one of these T-shirts and I'd be like, Green Lantern, can I take your picture? And immediately, no matter, like they're literally just wearing a T-shirt, they would like do the ring pose. Or if they were the Flash,
Right.
they would do the running. If they were Superman, they do the akimbo. And I
Right.
went through I spent the whole con doing that, and it was great. I have all these great pictures of just these normal people, but they're just the wearing of the signal, the symbol, was enough to get them to feel like that character. That's I guess why we wear our our nerd armor, as some people call it, right?
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
to make
And
it
if you're
feel
going to
like-
do it, you might as well. You can't just wear the costume and walk around and go, oh, here I am.
yeah, right.
Yeah.
You gotta
Yeah,
put a
You
little
gotta be a
effort into it.
character.
Greg Proops used to have a bit about going to Disneyland Paris. When you go to Disneyland Paris, the character actors don't really take it quite as seriously as everyone
Really?
else. So, here you've got Mickey Mouse. He's not even wearing his Mickey Mouse head. He's just got it in his hand and he's smoking a cigarette. And he's
Yeah,
like,
right.
you have seen me
Right.
and now fuck off.
Ricky Raton.
I've seen that in America, but that
Oh,
was
is that
behind,
right?
that was backstage. So
Isn't that always the thing of too, is that like one of the big rules is that you can never
yeah,
not be in the suit. And even if because I've heard the stories about somebody gets a bee inside their mask
they
and they
have to run
flip out like,
backstage,
no, don't take it off here.
Well, the other rule, I don't know if they still stick by this or not, but because things are, I think, a little looser than they used to be. But they even had a rule that if you were a cast member wearing a costume that was for a particular attraction that was for that land. So let's say you were in the Pirates of the Caribbean outfit that the cast members wear. You were not allowed to go into other lands in that costume. You had to.
Interesting.
You had to travel, like if you had to get from one end of the park to the other or whatever, you had to travel around backstage. You weren't allowed to like walk through Tomorrowland in your pirate costume.
Oh, that's interesting. That's cool, though. I like that.
I guess that makes sense. You're trying to
Yeah.
maintain some sort of continuity.
Right.
Right.
See, Scott Rogers comes on, and now we know how Disneyland works.
That's right.
It could be kind of cool to see it mixed up a little bit. See, Roger Rabbit walking around Galaxy's Edge.
No.
I think you see a little bit of that maybe
Crossover.
on the special nights, right? Like they have the love,
Oh, yeah.
the
okay,
Sweethearts Night and a few of those other ones. I think they sometimes do a little cross costuming.
There was an amusement park in Japan, in Nara, Japan, called Nara Dreamland. James knows about this. And it was originally going to be a Disneyland themed park. And they had a deal. They were all ready to go and they started building it, but then the deal fell through. So now they've got this almost completed Disneyland. Everything looks like Disneyland, the main street. It's a little lower rent looking, but all the things are there, but they couldn't call it Disneyland. And it went for years, and they called it Nara Dreamland. And people would go in there and it would look like Disneyland, but then there'd be another weird mascot and they had some different kind of rides. And I guess everyone just went, well, this is as close as we're going to get. And then as soon as Disneyland actually came to Japan, then that was it for Nara Dreamland.
Right.
If
the writing was on the wall.
If it had still been open today, the kids would have called it Temu Disneyland.
Temu?
Yeah, you know what? Temu, it's the website where you can buy knockoffs of things.
Really?
Oh, yes.
Huh.
I think I might have purchased something from that place.
Yeah,
Yeah, I think I did too.
Or we
Sorry,
might have
Scott, just
accidentally
not that hip.
purchased things.
Right.
How could this be so cheap? Well,
Huh.
this Ultraman mask is made of lead.
Yeah, I mean that's a whole nother industry, right? Our bootlegs and knockoffs and pirated things.
We could do a toy episode on just
Yeah.
knockoffs.
Yeah,
That'd
for
be
sure.
interesting.
Well, and movies, too.
Knockoffs and bootlegs. Yeah.
Yeah, you could talk about
Customs.
Robert Kopp and
Robert Kopp, RoboCop.
I'm sure there's a ton of kaiju, knockoff kaijus.
Yeah, Godzilla
and
bootlegs.
you can get into customs like Brent's dolls and
Sure.
Yeah. Distinctive dummies. Yeah.
I have a bunch of illegal ETs.
Oh wow.
Collection.
Are they
That
in your
sounded
basement
dirty.
or
Yeah.
hiding under your bed?
They're actually in storage right now, but
okay.
they're a little funky, but it's ET.
And
Well, even
Larry, do you have the Star Wars ones? Any of the Star Wars
Like the
knockoffs?
Mexican Star Wars knockoff.
Turkish, or I forget.
Yeah, I was going to say
I-
the blue stars or the
No,
Or
no,
any of
I
the
don't have. I
Uze.
well, first of all, I didn't even think I would have had the opportunity to get those.
Right.
But I refused. I was a purist.
No,
Sure,
that makes sense. I get it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was the same. Although probably in the last maybe 7 or 8 years, I've been buying. The quality of bootlegs has risen. There's certain creators that
True.
literally are making Kenner quality, like retro Star Wars figures, and they're trying to fill in the gaps for characters that weren't made. So, I ended up buying like a Slave Leia and a Mon Mothma and a Captain Antilles and the Rebel Fleet Troopers. And these figures are gorgeous. They look just like Kenner would have made them. They're the plastic, how it has a bit of that give to it. That they feel like Kenner plastic. And they're just wonderful. And so I've been using them to kind of fill out my collection, the gaps in the vintage collection. But now, Hasbro is doing them. They're making their own. And so, but it's weird because some of the Hasbro ones don't look anywhere as good as the bootleg ones.
Right. Right.
I have noticed that sometimes you'll get. I think what happens is that when NECA or one of these companies, they have their figures made in China, but the molds are still there. And so what they do is they run off a bunch,
Right.
that are under the table. And sometimes those things show up on eBay. And again, it was one of those things where it's like, how is this so cheap? And there are times where I have gotten one and it's completely awful. And then there are times where it looks great, but I notice one little imperfection of like, that shouldn't be there.
There's I used to do I do action figure customizing from time to time, and Star Wars is one of my genres that I do a lot of. And there was a fella online, I think he finally shut down, but for many years he went by the name Tung Hori, and he would sell essentially the figures that fell off the machine.
Really?
And some of them were dubious. I myself, all the ones that I bought from him over the years, because I would take them and then boil and pop them apart and make other characters out of them. But I never got a bad one from him. The only difference is that they weren't in the packaging, and sometimes they didn't come with all the accessories. Sometimes they did, but sometimes they didn't. But the quality of the figures that he had for sale were just as good as, if you had bought some loose figures over from Blast from the Past or something like that.
Yeah.
Cool. That's cool.
Blast from the Past. We love them.
Blast from the past.
Yeah.
All right, shall we start this thing?
Yeah, this is already a good. This is already a good
It's a
beginning of
nice,
anything goes.
it's a nice warm up.
Sure.
Yeah.
A little improv warm up.
Hey Matt, previous episodes we've given like the later anything goes. We've given it like a subtitle. Do you want to do that? I think we've done anything goes, the reckoning, and anything goes, the obliteration. Do you want to call this? I was thinking of like the decimation or pandemonium, the ruination. I don't know, something to distinguish it. The eradication,
or
the burninating.
I like electric
burning.
boogaloo, actually. The burning.
Anything goes, the burning.
The quest for peace.
I think that's funny. The quest for peace.
I like
is
that.
great. I love that.
I like
That's
that.
good. I like that. It's timely.
Let's do that. Yeah,
That's
let's
funny.
do that.
Awesome.
Let's do that.
You want to do
Nice
that?
one, James.
Okay, anything
I love
goes.
it.
The quest for peace.
the quest
I
for
love
peace.
it.
That's hilarious.
I like that.
So good.
Okay.
Scott, if I could just say one thing, please take the artwork out of the basket.
It's not going to happen, Larry. It's there. It's world famous. People all over the world know about the Batman.
It's God forbid we live and enjoy the things that we have.
Larry, when I'm sitting there, even if I'm not doing my business and I'm staring across at my Michael Cho print of all the different weirdo versions of Batman, or I'm looking at the Dick Sprang Secrets of the Batcave print that I have in there, or I'm looking at my signed copies of The Dark Knight Returns from Frank Miller and Lynn Varley, it makes me happy. And so I'm not going to take that happiness out of my life.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
Well, Scott, I'm not telling you how to live. You can live.
I
your
think,
life
Larry,
however want
you
to.
would be a
I think you
happier
are.
person if you turned one of your bathrooms into the Creature of the Black Lagoon bathroom.
Yeah, I can totally see that.
See,
You think I would be a happier person?
I think he'd be
don't
happier
know.
if
I don't
everything stayed in a box that he never saw.
Yeah, right.
That's okay, Larry. I'm living that life too. Don't let them tease you about that.
Oh.
That's my reality.
Oh,
as well.
please let us.
Well, now that everyone's taken this moment to step away, I now have the floor. And I just want to tell the listeners out there, don't put your artwork in the bathroom. It's just not safe. Steam and stinky scents and other kind of things kind of make appearances in the bathroom. And over a period of time may affect that original artwork that you have. So let's say you have a print of something that is not necessarily very valuable. Now that's one thing. Putting that on the wall in your bathroom, that's okay. Because if that gets damaged or something, that's not a big deal. Maybe it's only $20 or $40. But a piece of original artwork, an actual signed comic or a signed print by some artist, I wouldn't put that in the bathroom. I would limit it to plastic figures, something that you could maybe put under the bathtub spout and you could rinse it with a scrub brush or something and it won't hurt it, something like that. But sometimes there's, when you blow dry your hair, or there's lint and dirt and dust and skin flakes that fly all over that bathroom. So, and that gets in the nooks and crannies of your special statues or something. So I would suggest only putting something that's made of plastic or a print that's not too valuable. but
Larry,
don't put your
who are you
original.
talking to, Larry?
Oh, hi. I'm just, it's me and the listeners.
It
just,
really disturbed you, didn't it? The
oh my
bathroom.
God. I was sweating over it. I'm listening to him. He's all, yeah, in your artwork. What the fuck are you saying?
But there's no shower.
Okay, does he blow dry his hair in there?
Probably not. Probably not.
Okay. Okay. Because you're a smart, educated individual, that when you dress or get dressed every day or something, or when you shower or whatever, there are flakes on your skin. Your skin is constantly molting, right? And so it's like little bits fly off, and it creates dust in your room. So and so that stuff is going to get in between the nooks and crannies of his original artwork, of the little statues that he has in there. Ugh, it's just.
And if he were 19 years old and there were
Yes.
going to be decades of that kind of wear and tear,
Yeah.
and he would have to suffer the consequences, then I could see how that would be an issue of concern. We are all of the age, Larry, and I know that this may sound painful to hear, but it's sort of like, well, we're not going to take it with us. So at this point, how much damage is really going to get done in the time we have?
But what you're saying is, so I want to leave this crusty, gross, original artwork when I go. Hey, I'm going to leave it to my kids.
I'll be
and they're
dead.
gonna go,
I don't give a shit.
Oh,
I would rather enjoy it while it's in the bathroom. I'll look at it.
You can enjoy. Just the thought of it being in the bathroom. I'm just.
Yeah, well,
I was sweating the whole time when he was talking.
you're
about
sweating now.
Wow.
When
Yes.
What?
Matt will hear what happened during the bathroom break.